All right, says we're on. So
Okay, check 1, 2. Right. Sound good?
it's still connecting, but if you go and then I'll listen.
Alright, cool. First of all, we give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Hashem, Yahweh
Shai,
Shai, Hashem,
Kakadash.
Kakadash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, the shalom out there to the whole elect, Christian truth, in all sincerity, man. You know, it's been a crazy start to the year, man. Yes. Yeah, it's been a crazy start to the year, man. You see how America is rolling right now. You know, how the world is quaking in their boots, not knowing what this devil's gonna do. Right? And so it sets a whole new precedence for this year, man, because America is like an enemy to the world right now.
Yeah.
Right? Even to the allies, they're like, oh shit, what's this guy doing? They're man threatening Green, threatening Denmark and all kinds of shit. It's like, wow, these men are really turned on them. Right? But we know pursuing to prophecy that, ultimately the allies are gonna have to, well, not the last laugh because we're gonna have the last laugh, but they're gonna have a laugh on their ally America for all the abusive relationship that they've been running. Right? But what I really wanted to get into today, man, is this pride. Right? Because pride has led them here. Right? They've become so emboldened by their status in the world, with their power and their wealth, and the influence they have over the earth. They feel that they're untouchable. Right? But it goes beyond just being untouchable amongst the nations, because they are the most powerful nation on the planet. Right? But the hubris of this devil of America and Trump and these guys, the elites, right? They believe that they're beyond their heavenly Father. Like they literally feel like they could do anything. Right? When we know that in history that's not the case, because men have felt like that. Many men have felt like that. Right? But pride is overcome them to the point where it's going to bring them to their own destruction. Pride is a poison. Pride is a poison, man, and it's cleaning this world. Right? And in this world, you talk like pride is like a good thing. It's good to have pride in this and pride in that. And then, there's level 2 where pride is good, but then pride can be used in certain ways, right? But the only real pride that is only really, you really thumbs up that's good is in the Heavenly Father, man. Right? And that's not to be proud as men, but to acknowledge the Most High is the Most High. And he controls everything, man. He sets man's destinies up, and it's all the Most High's work, his will, that anything is done. Right? But these devils, they take themselves outside of that, man. Everything that they've done is that they've done it. And they praise themselves. They don't acknowledge the role the Most High plays in anything. Even though they hide behind the Bible and, God's with us and all this shit. But they don't do nothing that shows you that they move with the Most High at all.
This 50 and 31. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud.
Most proud. Who's the most proud upon the earth right now? Probably that's not hard to figure out. It's not hard to figure out, man. Yeah. All you gotta do is look at Trump's stupid face and you know it. Yeah. Right? The look that's more stout than his fellows.
And as has been said, it's beautiful because the Lord is putting that spirit back into Esau in his last hurrah to show, because as has been said before, it's just like it's great having to for this man to be brought down when he's at the top. Right now, he's feeling those Edomites in America. They're feeling, they're getting jacked up about pricing, but they feel like, I can be an Edomite again.
Esau, wants to feel that he's most powerful. And that's what the Most High is going to allow him to be, or to feel that he's at his most powerful. And the whole world is going to recognize the same thing, that the most powerful point, right? But that's when the Most High is going to take them out, and it's going to be like, well, at peak America, they couldn't even do nothing. They got wiped out like nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Peak America got wiped out. When you got all the mad weaponries that you got, all these inventions, all these super sound wave weapons you're using on Venezuelan man to take them out. That's what the Lord wants to show you, man. Despite all of this, man, despite all this, man, you Edomites are weak and nothing compared to the Heavenly Father. But your belief is that you can overcome all things, right? And that's why you have all these contingency plans and that when if and when the Lord comes, that you got something for him, man. That you got an answer for him. You ain't got an answer for nothing, man. But that's your hubris. Just like that.
Psalms 12, and start from 3. The Lord shall cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that speaketh proud things.
Right? And so all these Americans underneath Trump, right? All these maggots, right? They're all pushing Trump and America and the white identities right? The so-called white identity, like, you know, and stuff. They're so great, right? They got so much shit to say. Oh, you know, the Native Americans, they deserve to get destroyed because we were superior, we got intelligence and inventions and shit. They didn't even have a will and all this sort of stupidness, right? All this proud boasting is gonna lead you to your own destruction, man. Because despite, like, you can't be humble. You don't know how to be humble. You do that pseudo humble shit, but you don't believe it. When you say it, you don't actually feel it. You're not actually being really humble. It's just something you do for lip service, flattering lips and that kind of stuff. You do that to make yourself look good, but you're not good. You know.
Who have said with our tongue, who have said with our tongue when we are our own, who is Lord over us?
He's Lord over us, man. America, Trump, these men are Lord of everything. The way they speak it, you know, because they have no real opposition that they can see, right? Because everybody's weaker than them. So it's easy. It's easy to be proud and boastful when you're weak, but you're meant to be humble. The scripture say, "The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, the more humble thy be." Right? You're meant to be a real beacon of light to the world, show the world how everything's done. You're not really a nation of peace. That's why you're the red horse in Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. You're here to take peace on the earth, and your actions is just proving that. Because you have all this power, but what do you want to do with it? You want to take this from this person. You want to get involved in this nation. You want to, depose this leader, and you want to do all these things, all these resources. But where's your power for good?
Say they're boasting on their sword. Sword that make them be stronger over the world. No nation can speak against them.
And that's why it's evident that you are the Edomites in the scriptures. Because Esau was blessed with that sword. That's what you live on. You live on that. You're proud about that. Right? That's why you could be nobody else. You can't blame some Arab, bro. That ain't doing nothing in the earth. What does he rule? Oh, his little sandpit. Oh, his little toys, truck, tractor. Yeah, that's all these Arabs are doing, man. These ain't ruling shit. Yeah. It's you. And like, everything you're doing is there to substantiate the claims the Bible speaks of. Yeah. You know, to prove, to manifest that you are the Edomites. Yeah. You know? There was another point I wanted to make. Laura comes back to me. Do you want to do it? That was it?
Yeah. This is Jeremiah 50 and 31. It says, "Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord God of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee."
The time of visitation is soon. Right? And like I said, you know, all these things are wrapping up. That's what I was going to say. You know, because this devil, like, oh, shit's gone again. It's something to do, never trust thy enemy, right? Yeah, right. Oh, that was it, man. Your countenance is changing, right? Because your countenance is changing. You're not we went from the slave to slave owner, whipping the shit out of us, right? The real devil back then. You know, he became more PC, right? Became more on the outward appearance, more caring, right? But now he's going back to that old slave master. Because can a leopard change his spots? Yeah. No, he's going back to what he was initially, right? All that shit was just an act, right? And so people are seeing that's the true colors of this devil, really, you know. Because when he's got the power, when he's got the advantage or whatever, when he's in a certain position, right, he's gonna abuse the shit out of it. And he don't care who he tramples on. You're just fodder. You're just collateral. You know, because really he wants to oppress. That's his nature. He wants to oppress. You know.
Sure. This is Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Right, and that's what the devil do. That's what a liar does. So he's here to beguile you, right? To lie to you, to make you believe something that's not true. That's what a lie is, man. Right? A con. Right? So while you're up here enjoying Babylon, right, thinking that this guy's on your side now because he let you go, he took the chains off, let you go, right? You think he's on the other side, but really he's just setting up the next trap. Yeah. And that's what he's been doing since that time, setting up the next big thing, the next big trap, right? That you're gonna fall for because it's part of his agenda. That old system that had wasn't good enough for what he needed it to be. It wasn't safe enough. Or you got guys like Nat Turner running around. You know what I mean? You know, Duffy and Edomites. You know, he don't want that. He want to live in peace. He wants that peace. He wants to live in peace, but not give peace. If you understand what I'm saying, he don't want to be troubled, but he want to trouble you. But he want to be troubled where you can't even trouble him at all ever. In trouble as other men because he lives in these suburbs and shit like where Jay getting out or Paul's not out. They ain't gonna worry about all this bullshit, violent shit that goes on down here, all the robberies and shit. They ain't gonna worry about that. But ultimately, they know once the system collapses, man, these guys are gonna be looking for them, right? Because they're the reason why this world's collapsing. You know, these elites, right? But if he can get you with chips, he ain't gonna worry about that no more.
Yeah.
Because he can just kill you remotely. He ain't gonna be there. You know?
A bit more, Jeremiah 50 verse 32 now. And the most proud shall stumble and fall.
Most proud shall stumble and fall. And like I said, America is the prime candidate for the most proud. Right? Yeah, and you got Britain, you got Europe, and then you got these other Edomite nations. Yeah, sure. But America is the most. Right? That's why even their own allies, these other Edomites, hate them. They're really starting to fucking dislike them. You know? To the point where they're gonna turn their backs on them. So, you know?
And it says, and none shall raise him up, and I will kindle a fire in his cities.
Well, the scripture say none shall help thee. No one's gonna save you from the power of the flame. Right? None of these nations are gonna come and back you up in the end. You're gonna die alone. Right? America's gonna die alone. No friends. No, yeah.
And it says, and I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him.
Right? That's why America's end is just fire, lake of fire, and then desert settings. Right? The Lord's not even going to allow no one to repopulate that place. Right? Because it's that screwed. You screwed that place up so much wickedness going in that land, man. The Lord's like, no, allow it, innit? You got South America, you know, you got Canada, you don't need that place. You got it's big enough. You know what I'm saying? But that place is gonna be a monument. Right? Yep.
And it says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Right, in the land of America. Right? All the tribes are over there in the land of America, man. And, you know, we got to, you know, contingency groups here and there, you know, across the road and that. You know, here in the UK, you've got mostly Benjamin and Judah. You know, we've got a few Latin tribes down here now. You know, but it's mostly Benjamin here. You know, but in America, they're all there. All there. Right? Yep.
It says, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
So are we free? Not according to the scriptures, we ain't. And we know we're not free because we're subject to tax, we're subject to payments. As the scripture tells you. I got one this morning when I got in my car.
Damn.
And I was like, it's fucking Saturday. You know what I mean? The parking thing doesn't even apply to Saturday, to the weekend where I parked, right? But I wasn't parked in a parking spot, but I wasn't parked, like I was parked on a single yellow. And I'm pretty sure you park on single yellow. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think because a lot.
Look it up. I'm going to appeal it anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah, UK. So it's the thing. Like, our argument in the States may not know, but it's like London, England's through, right? England's through, and a lot of councils are broke. So yeah, so one of the things that they've been doing is they've been fining people more and more for like driving infractions. I have a cousin, he lives, I believe, in the borough of Lambeth, and basically he keeps getting hit for like straying out of a lane and stuff like that.
Straying out of a lane.
Straying out of a lane and something crazy like that. Yeah.
This what I'm saying, and you know, a lot of time as well, right? Not a lot of time, but sometimes, you know, these penalty charges that they give you, man, it's like they're just trying it because you don't know clearly, and so you just want to pay it off because you don't know, innit? Yeah, right. But they be trying it, man. They be trying it, and so I'm gonna appeal it because to me, I'm like, I need to go look it up again. I need to read out rules on parking on the lines and stuff to make sure, and maybe get an actual something. Because as far as I was aware, I could do that. Because not everywhere has a parking bay marked out. So what do you mean I can't park it? But you know, that's for me anyway. But yeah, man, it's let's say if I was free, I'd be able to park where I park. I wasn't interviewing nobody. I'd be free to park where I wanted to park, but you're not free. You're here subject to Esau's system, who's fucking trying to make you poor. You know, oppressing you. You know? Yep.
Verse 34, Jeremiah 50. It says, the Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name, Yahweh.
That's why we need a Redeemer, man. We're sick and tired of living under Esau's rulership, man. And these rules, these fucking laws and shit, man. It don't make no fucking sense other than to oppress you. You know what I mean? That's why we're not going to be kind to him in the kingdom. We're going to make sure he suffers, man. Under every little thing that he does, every little transgression that he do, we're going to make sure he got called up on, man. And none of it's going to be, you know, hidden to us. He sneezed, man. We're going to know about it. You know? and I will beat you up for spreading germs. Come.
Psalms 12 and 5. For the oppressions of the poor, for the sighing of the need, now we realize, says Yahweh, I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him.
Yeah, Esau puffers at us, man, because that pride. Because he knows he's got the dominion over us, man. He's got the power over us, so he can just make us do what he wants us to do and suffer. So you think you're gonna get some kind of mercy from us in the kingdom? You're crazy, man. We're gonna go out of our way to make your lives living hell, right? Because you do too much, right? So we're gonna make sure we go do too much,
Mm.
you know, when it comes to your suffering, you know.
This is Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Yeah, pride is that pride. Well, people say pride is a hateful thing, right?
Yeah.
No one likes pride. No one really likes it. Everyone, when you so fucking, puffed up, man, people get pissed off because you can't be humble. But no one. But the thing is, in this one, no one respects humility.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a word of might is right.
Yeah, right. But when you're so proud that you're just taking the piss, obviously, innit? People get annoyed with that, man. And that goes the same for your Edomite allies.
Yeah.
They're getting pissed off the fact you're just doing what the fuck we're meant to be friends. We're meant to be friends, man. We're meant to mutually benefit each other. We handed you the reins of the World New World Order. Britain handed it over to America, right?
Yeah.
Right? And now you're treating us like shit. You're treating the mother like shit. You don't switch your mom. You know what I'm saying? It's good to say America's Britain's America's mother, man. Right? But these guys are acting so pompous, man. People are just getting pissed off, man. Everyone. You know, because pride's hateful. Yep.
It says, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked flesh and burn with her with fire.
But how can you hate your own man that much that you want to just destroy them, man? But this is the effect that pride has, man. You know? Yep.
For the Most High have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled.
Yep.
And the woman which thou sawest is that the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Right? And so that's America, right? But the beast, they can't trust the whore anymore.
Yeah.
They can't trust her. And so they're going to take things into their own hands, man, and plot against you. You know, they all meet up in Davos and shit, right? Is Trump going to be there? I'm not sure if Trump's going to be there or not, but I don't know. But like, they're going to have some serious discussions, man, about what they're going to do about you. You know, whether you're there or not there, whether they talk in front of you or behind your back, right? They're going to have serious discussions about what they're going to do about America. Because America can't be trusted anymore. You know, they're going to be talking about how they're going to defend Greenland. You know, even though that's not really, logical because they don't think that's America anyway. But they're going to do what they can do. You know.
Well, now you got protesters in Denmark.
Yeah.
Protesting what Trump doing. You know what I mean? And it's like the thing is, at the end of the day, man, everything in life is leading up to the destruction of Babylon.
Yep.
So where I'm seeing these social kind of fragments taking place, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Of people, particularly the feeling of Babylon taking the piss everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, what gives you the right to go into other countries and say this person's supposed to be, you know, this is their land or this should be ours or whatever it is. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like
They're pressure them.
yeah.
You know? And this is why the Most High gave everybody their inheritance, man.
Yeah.
You know, so no one can sit there arguing what's theirs and what's not theirs. The Most High told you what's yours and what's not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But America don't respect none of that.
What even
But when it comes to Israel, it's Israel's land.
yeah, exactly.
Well, what about Denmark? What about Denmark? I know it's going to establish
Yeah,
Denmark, but it's like internationally it's recognized that Greenland is part of Denmark.
Yeah.
But you don't respect it.
Well, it's even like the whole concept of regime change. in modern times, it's happened because of America.
Yeah.
Like it's
Because they're unhappy.
yeah, like if your government isn't in league with corporations that are based mainly in Latin America, funded by the elites, you're fucked. Like if you ever watch the Confessions of a Economic Hitman, the guys he tells you, bro, like, Saddam Hussein and us were cool. It's just because that he wasn't trying to go according to our script. So you know what I mean? Fucked him over.
Well, you could tell. It's the rhetoric. It's the typical
It's the same situation.
Because what they're saying about Greenland, or if we don't take it, China and Russia was going to take it. Will you say China and Russia going to take it? Has Russia or China even expressed any interest in it?
Yeah.
I knew the Russians talk about the Arctic Sea and all this kind of stuff, and doing this and that. But it's like no one's actually said to Denmark, "Well, we want your land," except for America.
Yeah. I remember that because I remember one time just looking, I was like, wait there, why is Hawaii a state?
Yeah.
Like when you like when you just like you're on a globe, like you never see the other side of the globe, you never see that part of it.
Why it was there.
And it was like Hawaii. I was like, oh snap, bro, Japan's gonna get it.
Yes.
And it's like, bro, what are you doing?
But that's that Edomite fucking mentality, though. Yeah. That's why he's the devil. He can't. He's not.
To never have enough.
That's it, right? That's what I was going to say, right? But yeah, this is this devil mentality, man. He must have everything for himself, and his only excuse is, I don't want you to have it, right? Because God forbid, because Russia's such an enemy, but you're the one invading everywhere.
Exactly.
Russia got more more sympathy for in terms of like Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union. It's technically they've got Russian mans there. It's technically their home too. What's Greenland got to do with you? I don't know. Right? Because that's far fetched now.
Yeah. Well, it's even like the whole Taiwan situation.
Not even Canada trying to take hold of it. It's closer to Canada. Yeah. Oh, but he wants Canada too, so I don't know.
Yeah. I would say it's even the same with the Taiwan situation because according to American understanding, Taiwan is a territory of China in their own thing. But we need to go protect them. So wait there.
It's the same script. It's the same script. Yeah. How is America always in the story? They're always coming to save everyone.
Yeah. And they get to decide what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah. It's democracy. The oppressed Christians in Nigeria. And then, even the Christians in Nigeria be like, whoa, what good? We don't need you.
Exactly. Like, sure, bro.
It's the same story. And now, with the whole circus act with the president that got kidnapped. It's like that's a circus in itself.
Yeah, man. And once again, the reporting and all of that shows you Edomite supremacy, right? When they went and stole the ship, right, with oil, what did they say? They didn't call it piracy. They used a different word, and I was like, well, it's not piracy because X, Y, Z, right? When they've spoken about it from the perspective of because they didn't use the word kidnap, they used captured, right? We captured Maduro and this. No, you kidnapped. Officially looks spooky, innit?
But I'm saying, piracy is bad, right? They got that term for bad people. Piracy is bad, but when we do it, it's not piracy. We have a different word for that. It's good. This is good. We blow out the ships. We take, we take them. That's all good because America doesn't want to be seen as a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? They want to portray to the world that they're doing just acts in the earth, but these men are really the devil.
This is 2 Corinthians 11:14. It says, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
So he wants to appear as the guy all the damn time so people can get behind him, right, as much as possible. Right? Because if you were just saying, man, if he just came out as a raw devil like he really like he truly is, no one would follow this devil, man. No one would believe or follow what he has to say or what he wants to do. Right? So he has to play this righteous battle, war that he's waging. Right? Everyone else is bad. He's the light in the world. Everyone's evil. Right? But really, not to say that these people are good evil, but it's the reverse. America is the most evil, wickedest nation on the planet
Mm.
by far. It's not even in contention, a contender for that. That's why it's going to get the great destruction as proof and evidence that these were the man with the most wicked. Right, so they're way above everybody else in terms of wickedness, but they portraying themselves to the world that they're righteous. But again, that's all part of pride too. But even yourself to be something that you're not. Yeah.
Another scripture. This is Isaiah 14:12. It says, "How have I fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?"
Right, Lucifer is these Edomites, these elites. Right, and the passage explains itself, man. It's talking about men. It's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. When was the spiritual demon Satan ever called Lucifer? There's one passage that mentions Lucifer. Oh, it's got to be Satan. No, Satan's called Satan, bro.
Mm.
That's his name, Satan, the adversary. Lucifer is talking about somebody else. If you want to say anything, he's like the offspring of Satan here on the earth in a physical bloodline. Yeah.
It says, "How have thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?"
Who's weakening the nations? Who's going to step in tariffs and sanctions on everybody?
Mm.
America first, and all these other European nations or whatever. Right? That's why nations become weak. That's why Venezuela became so fucked up. Right? Iraq, Iran,
And it's when you go into the
Russia, even.
like it's
Well,
yeah, and when you really go into it, they just have like leaders in slavery. Bro.
yeah.
It's like you let us benefit entirely off of your wealth, and you get nothing. And that's the contract.
Yeah, and
And if you don't accept it,
you'll
you're
die.
gonna get a take called it. So
Yeah.
can't.
We're going to come into your country and extract you.
Yeah.
Not kidnap, we're going to extract you.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Their media team will do a video on a corrupt world leader in a country that used to work for you.
Yeah.
So it's like even when I was watching the confessions, where they said it took them so long to take down Saddam Hussein because he used to be a CIA operative too. So he already knew the tricks.
Got you.
That's why it took them so long. You know what I mean? Basically, they got upset with him because he was trying to enrich the people. But with their propaganda and machine, they had it where a small faction of his own people would be against them, so that it would look like it's the
whole nation, yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, it's and one of the things that they used in one of the wars, in one of the Iraq wars, was this whole idea of babies dying in incubators, right? So they had this Kuwaiti chick, basically,
Yeah. It turns out.
Yeah, and it was all BS.
Yeah.
But Israel, legit, you see the camera footage, right? They go into Gaza, you see the babies, they got left. The nurses told them, the IDF said, look, we're going to go and look after the children, right? Don't worry about them. We got them. Bro, they came back. The bodies were all dead. The babies were all dead, man.
They even attacked hospitals was crazy.
Exactly.
They didn't give 2 F's who was in there. All elderly, young, didn't care, right? But they said, ISIS is underground. Well, you better find some fucking way to get to them. Yeah. Why would you go bomb a building knowing for a fact that you're guaranteed going to get all these civilians and maybe get some Gaza man or some Hamas dudes? Bro, you need to find another way, bro. You better get some tunnel digger or something and find your way down there.
Yeah.
But going to the hospital is fucking crazy.
To touch on your point, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, that girl. It turns out, I think she was like a daughter of an elite, like rival, like that same one you mentioned, sat before the
Committee.
Yeah, speaking. Oh, where it turns out like the story of her being some poor whatever, but it was a lie. He was a daughter like of his main rival.
But you don't know the Eve, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like
Esau's a serpent, bro.
that's it, man. That's why he orchestrates. He orchestrates narratives, man. to make you believe in what he's doing. Because you make the opposition, that's propaganda though. When you make the other position seem like the bad guy and everything, it's like, well, what you must be right. When we've not been given the whole story.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it's just lies. You know, fabricated truths.
And it says, which did its weaken the nations.
Right, so again, that's primarily America being weakened in the nation, man. That's why everyone's suffering. No one can do good. France is another one of them because they're not more European allies in Africa. These men can't prosper, and they can't defend themselves, right, against these mightier powers, right? So they're being kept weak. What is always America say? What the reason why they don't want they're taking Greenland because they want Russia to get, because what, Russia get stronger or trying to get stronger. They don't want no one else to be strong. They want to have the control. China's a threat because it's coming up. Oh, you know, we've got to do this and do that to slow them down. Why? You just don't want your sun to set.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You don't want the sun to set on you, man. And that's just typical Rome. But guess what happened to Rome? Rome had to go. America is going to have to go too. And it's going to go out in the worst way.
Like Esau's scared of being irrelevant again.
Yeah. But that's what you are. That's what you truly are. Irrelevant to this world, man. You're not needed at all.
Verse 13, it says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
He's going to rule everything, over all God's creations and his children, his land. I'm going to ascend, right? I'm working on the transhuman shit so I can live forever. You know, I'm going to wield this great power over the earth. I'm going to control all the people. Like you're God. But there's only one God, only one Most High, man, that has that control. So leave it to him, innit? Why are you playing with that for? Yeah.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
That's delusion right there. Yep.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
You're going to be in disbelief. You're going to be in disbelief about this guy. Because you look at these elites, man.
Bro.
They're nothing to write home about, bro.
Bro.
They're frail. They're weak as hell, man. They ain't done one MMA boxing class ever. You know, if you caught them in a room, bro, it's over for them, innit?
Yeah.
You would take them down easy, right? Because they got the wealth, the power, their influence, they got militaries and all these different types of things here. Hitman, assassins, everything.
Yeah.
Bro, they're formidable just because of that. They've got a whole fucking defense shield around them.
Yeah, his mixed martial art is here. It's called, it's in the chamber. That's where the mixed martial art is.
You know?
You know?
So if you looked at them, it's like, how has this guy been pulling all these strings like that?
It shows you, bro. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Like, bro, like
these guys are lose to the average cracker here, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're already weak.
Yeah.
Bro, it shows you.
The average Edomite,
Bro, exactly.
you know?
Really got to pull up his arms and send. You know what I mean? But it's real, though. It's like, bro, the earth has really been given into his hand, man.
Yeah. No one can touch it right now.
Like even there's been information coming out, and like just some of these like protests. There's these like heat guns or whatever that can just, like, if everyone's stationary, it sends a beam of a signal, makes you hot for a split second, and makes everyone just frantically just sprint about and disperse. Yeah, but remember with the Panama invasion in 1989, they spoke about these things like back then where making people feel like they're burning. Or
even just recently, the Venezuelan team, they were saying that there were weapons, they were using weapons. That,
Yeah.
like, they don't know what it was.
Yeah.
It makes man collapse and shit.
make people have heart attacks and shit. Like history, and like even remember to go into it. It took a small amount of troops, like 20 men in choppers, just took down the whole place because of the different radiation guns and shit that was fucking people up inside.
And they got the laser weapons and satellites or whatever.
Laser weapons and shit.
You know? And so, like, Esau's got a whole array of weaponry.
It's his blessing.
Yeah. So a whole way of weapon, which he takes big pride in. It makes him believe he's untouchable.
You know what? That's spiritual, yeah? And it shows you that. Remember, Esau got blessed with a sword, and then the modern day land of Edom as well is Babylon, and Babylon has the height of like being black. You know the sword blessing. Like they like spend the most like on their fucking army.
They want to add another 500 billion to that.
Yeah, because you look, because if you look at all of the Edomite nations, like wherever they are in the world, the one that has the best weaponry and tech is America. That's spiritual. That is also the
Well,
Bosra,
all the war companies.
yeah,
Most of the war companies, America.
yeah, exactly.
You know, you got a couple in the UK.
Yeah, couple in Russia, whatever.
BAE over here in the UK, maybe some other one. But like, they're mostly American company.
Yeah.
You know, so it just shows you, man, this level, these sort of people are the Edomites, man. There's no question about it. They are blessed with that weaponry. They are superior in weaponry. You know, and these are the things that makes him believe that he can't be taken down by nobody. Right? He's like, how can someone take me down? I've got this and I've got that. I've got the nukes, I've got laser weapons, I've got all kinds of things, black hole weapons, whatever, man, what he's working on. You know, yeah, he got all kinds of things going on. He's working on in the lab. He's too proud. He's too proud. He thinks what he's got is enough to defy the Most High. You know, but you don't understand. You was blessed with that from the Most High, right? And you forget what the blessing is, man. That Jacob is going to rule over you. You will have to lose your power. You have to lose your seat. There ain't no matter weapon that you can gain or gather that's going to defeat that. You know, but that's the whole point. Most High wants you to be so proud and feel that you're so mighty that when he does come and wipes you out with a flick of the pinky, right? He's gonna make you dumb. Like he thought he had a chance, man. All this research and development you've been doing for fucking years, developing these weapons for nothing. You might as well come out with a stick. Yeah. It would have cost you nothing. Could have got off the tree. You know? So
This will be the Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. That said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the board of weakness.
So the key point is that the Most High allowed you to build. He allowed you to build. Most High gave you space to build. Right? Only to then say what? Read that again.
That said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And
He's going to throw it down. He's allowed you to build just so he can throw it down again, man. You ain't meant to be, you know, on the earth, ruling forever. Never. That was never the plan. The Most High is not going to allow that, right? Because as far as he's concerned, you're the wicked. You were made to be the wicked. And what's it? The wicked was made for the day of evil, right? The last days, right? After you fulfilled the purpose, bro, goodbye.
You are the weakest link.
Just like how you treat everybody else. They're surplus to requirements, right? You don't mind, you know, sacking man and replacing robots. Well, guess what? We got heathen. We got before bare heathen ready to serve us, right? We don't need you.
Yeah.
You got your part.
He cannot be kept around because he's always going to find a way. It's like he even talks about that, like in the Apocrypha, in terms of Haman, how he was laboring on the hand to take over the Persians.
Yeah.
So when you look at the story, you see him obviously trying to like impress Xerxes and all of that, but really his inward heart was to take down the Persians.
Yeah.
Which eventually, who came up after the Persians? It was the Greeks anyway.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means if you leave this nigga around you enough, he's gonna try overthrow you, no matter who you are.
He can't hold it down.
He can't hold it down.
He can't. It's in his spirit. He's unsettled, man. He can't hold it down.
A prime example is Gad. Here it is. He's coming to your land and conquered your land. And years later, he kept calling you were a migrant. Imagine that, man. Imagine he's telling he's got his troops snatching up Mexicans, telling them to get the fuck out of here and all that. And their lands.
That's crazy.
When the biggest migrant on the planet is the so-called white, he's the migrant. He's migrating
He
everywhere.
keeps not at home.
He keeps not at home.
That's what's that mean?
That-
Yeah,
You're migrating.
yeah, he's a
Fugitive,
He's
and a
a
vagabond.
vagabond. Like this nigga's the migrant. Like it's actually insulting. You know how insulting it is to be called a migrant.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born here. like, you know, it's for real though.
Yeah.
Like they have migrated to everywhere. Like they've been everywhere. Like remember back in the day, them small hats tried to basically have a community in Uganda. It was a whole thing, and then that was before they got this state of Israel, like a so-called officially. They was trying to have their whole thing there.
See, Esau can go anywhere in the world and declare himself native.
Yeah,
That's what he does. Right? If he took Greenland, he'd become Greenlandians or whatever the fuck. And now he'd be, natives there. The Inuit people out there, fuck them. They're immigrants.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
insane,
how
bro.
crazy these men are.
He's a fucking. You're the migrant. Man.
Yeah.
I'm
Get out
gonna
Greenland.
start calling these Edomites migrants, man. You're fucking migrant. I'm
Well,
calling
this is the thing. Like, let's say they went to Greenland, they put more garrisons there because they already got garrisons there already. Let's say they did more, right? And Inuit people got upset about it.
Yeah.
I know there's Danes there as well, whatever, I'm supposed to, right? But let's say they got angry and wanted to, like, oppose them.
Yeah.
They're gonna gun them down,
Yeah.
And tell and thought these men are violent.
Yeah.
Bro, you just took the fucking land.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? They want their land back. Oh, sorry, it's ours now. That's the same fucking devil, bro.
Bro,
The devil's been doing that for fucking centuries. He's been doing the same shit and blaming everything on everybody else.
Just one.
oh.
It's on Cain. Genesis 4, I'll start from verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
Right, and this is why you can't have a dude like this in the kingdom. Because this is Esau, right? Yep.
And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me.
You know
From
what? Can you read up from when he actually said?
This is the thing, even under instruction, he ain't gonna do right.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna do right.
He don't want to do right.
You don't want to do right.
He does not want to be like.
He's gonna be a thorn in our side in the kingdom if that was the case. Not in the case that he's gonna rise up against us, but he'd just be doing so much wickedness. He's gonna keep us too busy.
Well, like
You know what I mean?
like
There's
Jake,
shit to do.
like Jake when they're in the right mind. Jake is influenced by Esau, but Jake when they're in the right mind is like, okay, let's do this business deal so we both benefit. Esau's like, if it doesn't all benefit me, I'm gonna kill you and take it anyway. So I don't know how we're gonna figure out this contract, but it has to benefit just me. And you have to be okay with it.
And this is the thing, right? And any deal you do with Esau, you take these rappers and these entertainers, right?
Yeah.
They're getting some shit deal, right?
They're
All of that
getting-
fucking time.
they're getting
You can
some-
say they're getting millions, yeah, fine. It's good on paper, innit? But what they're getting for what they're providing is nothing,
It's nothing,
right? Even asking 1% is a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
For sales or whatever, 1%, they don't even want to give you that.
bro, most of these record deals is just bad loans. And like people was signing a record deal for 50 million. And it's just now you just owe 50 million.
Yeah.
And you now have to
Their albums later to pay them.
work that back, bro. You don't even own your damn music. So really, the only way these guys make money really is from shows. That's why
During the
see-
CV, they were hurt. That's
Yeah,
why they were hurt
That's why
during the
these
CV.
guys was all, the dancing on Instagram live and shit, or doing shows in their house.
That's why Esau. But that's why Esau's always about to see for balances,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
He don't want to
Yeah.
don't want a fair shake from nothing. He's
just
oppressing
waiting,
people
man.
continuously, man. Everybody, no matter how much the lower man looks at these guys like they're rich and shit, them men are getting oppressed.
Yeah.
Especially after with the other stuff they got to do as well.
Like them old school Jake artists that Motown and all them that made them like classic hits. Bro, you find out, but a lot of the music is just owned by old cracker family.
Yeah.
They just own their music. They couldn't do nothing about it.
It's Genesis 4, I'll start from the top. And it says, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I've gotten a man from the Lord Yahweh. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass. But Cain brought of the fruit of the ground in offering unto the Lord Yahweh. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
Bearing in mind, his father is Adam, right? Who knows the ways of righteousness. Right? He already told Abel the right way. Abel did what he was told. He knew what was up, right? But Cain, whoa, this nigga twisted, right? He rebellious as fuck, right? Yep.
Similar to when he came out of Esau.
Yep.
Isaac told them not to marry with the
Cain
women.
married it.
Yeah, I mean,
Even women.
yeah. Cain had
Yeah, and despite everybody, he went and did it anyway. Because he's angry. He's an angry dude, because he wasn't chosen. Rather than accept the things that as they are, as the Most High have decided, he can't accept the Most High's decisions. He can't accept the will of the Most High, and this way he does everything that he possibly can to defy him. Yep.
Verse 6, and it says, and the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted?
And it's as simple as that. It really is just as simple as that. If you do as I said, what's the problem?
Yeah. Because it's like, you know what I mean? Which it proves they know that they ain't the people. Because if they really believe they were the people, then they'll just try and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Because hey, man, if I keep it, I'm faithful to God.
I'll see respectful amongst them.
I'm gonna get all the blessings, and I'm gonna rule the world, bro. Like you don't have to rule the earth as a tyrant. Like you really don't have to. Like you
And it never lasts.
It never lasts.
Never lasts.
I've never seen a company where you have a boss that he just got power, and it's like there's no point with me even being a tyrant because I got the power. There's nothing that you can do against me. So, because everything I want done is going to be done. So, what's the point of being a tyrant? But Esau doesn't think like that. He's like, I'm gonna be a tyrant. I'm gonna make sure you have nothing. You have like bad conditions of work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just have you in slavery and expect you to just be fine with that.
Be loyal and faithful.
To be loyal and faithful and shit.
Bro, you're stressing people out, man.
Yeah.
Putting people on edge.
He's on the edge, bro.
You're gonna find someone hiding in the back of the seat of your car.
Yeah, that's it. That's why when you go down, all those nations you've been illegal, they ain't gonna feel sorry for you. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Remember that movie Trading Places? When he got broke, people he shot on too was like, wait,
Your turn.
it's your turn to be poor, but I don't care about you. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well,
And the same applies to us. That's what I mean. Like, if it's a fact of just doing, being obedient. That's what it took. And then the Most High will bless you, man, and have respect to you. Right? And the reason why we're in a particular win because we did the same thing, essentially. We went against the will of the Heavenly Father. Right? And so we end up in the same predicament that he's going to find himself in later. But if we return to the law and do as he commanded us, bro, we're going to have blessings beyond measure. And I'd much rather live a life like that than the life that we live. You know what I mean? But it just do as you're told, isn't it? And you can't say that's not righteous because was told all the time, told to do. Yeah, but when you got children, then you not expect your child to do what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
You can't not then apply that to the Heavenly Father, who's the Father of everybody. It's the Father of spirits. You know what I mean? You've got to do as you're told. Because he's always going to be. He's not like he doesn't get old and senile. So you can't disrespect him in that level. He doesn't know what you're talking about no more. No, he's everlasting. He's always going to be the parent. And so he's always going to be able to tell you what to do. And he's gonna whoop your ass if you don't go according to what the will is, man. And it's not that you don't have freedoms in between that, like you can do what you want as long as it ain't wicked. But it's like you have to be good. You have to be good. You can't be wicked, man. Wicked, you get beats, bro. Getting beats big time. That's just the way it is. Yep.
It says, and if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
Right? And what does sin bring? Death. Right? And the Lord made it very clear to us all of that. Everyone to understand that. But people still want to go that route anyway. Because they don't fear the Most High. Or they don't believe he exists, or whatever the case may be. Because Esau made them think that there's no God. That he's God. You know? We listen to Esau. Because he can bring death to you. You know? But no, the Most High can bring great judgment, man, and he's going to do it. You know? Yep.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Right? Sin rules over these people. Right? And so they can't help themselves because they're so corrupted in the flesh already. They can't do nothing but sin now. Only the Lord's chosen can break out of that cycle. You know? But everybody else has fallen into sin. Right? And you speak to some of these JCAT that know past years and whatever, these men don't want to accept that they're doing wrong. Because they want to continue in the things that they're doing. You know, we were just saying off the camera before we started, it's like people will justify anything that they're doing because they like doing it. You know, man, they eat lobster and all these types of things. Oh, I like lobster. You know, you compare it to a cockroach, and man's like, well, cockroach must be nice then. Some shit. Some crazy shit. I was like, bro, that's not
That wasn't the point.
you know, it ain't right for you, bro. It ain't good for you. But, you know, people just want to justify their wickedness.
Yeah, like I'll tell you, I was going to say a fun story. No. But yeah, like there's a Jake that I know, bro. Remember that nigga we said that came out of jail, telling us a story.
Oh yeah.
So that nigga, right? Obviously, I've known him from a long time, but when I was much younger in the faith, I told him about the beast. But then, like a different time, I explained to him about reincarnation. Like, you know, even if whatever you do in life, you die, you come back. So this nigga put 2 and 2. He was like, hold on. So he's saying I'm going to be in the kingdom anyway. Oh.
Bro's already know where it's going.
He said, so what? You saying I'm going to be in the kingdom anyway? I said, yeah. I said, so what are you trying to say? He said, so you saying if I take the chip, I'm still going to come back? I said, yeah, but I don't think you're going to.
You know what I find funny about that, right? These are the worst examples. These types of things are the worst examples, right?
He would do anything.
Because that sounds like not a bad deal,
Yeah.
right? Even if I did all these wickedness, the Lord's still gonna save me anyway. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So I ain't got to do shit, right? But these niggas in this world, right? They're not happy sitting on the bottom.
Yeah.
Because being rich and wealthy is comparative, right? These niggas always want to fucking stunt another J.
Yeah.
Right? They always want to be the fucking gangsters in the end. They want the P's, the Mercedes, and all this kind of stuff. So force another J. They're not going to be happy sitting at the bottom. Because that's going to be a shameful position in a way, because even though you're an Israelite and you're a king, you're a priest, you're sitting in the bottom. And you're going to have all these other great Jakes that know that follow the will of the Heavenly Father be above you, man. And you're going to be happy with that. Because you want to be the guy. All these Jakes want to be the guy. For us, we don't want to be the guy. You don't need to be the guy. But these niggas, they do.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to be happy there.
Yeah, and plus, that judgment will hit your ass. Yeah. That judgment for taking a chip. Jake think, some angel's gonna come and just put them in a chokehold and that's it. Give them plaque and then they're gonna die. No, you're gonna feel every burn of death. You're gonna feel
Not only that, right? Because that's the end, right?
Yeah.
But you're gonna go through all the count, the blows, all of that,
Yeah.
all the cancers and shit. You're gonna suffer.
You're gonna suffer, bro.
Before that even happens.
Yeah, bro.
You know, so not only you gotta go through famine, not only you gotta worry about your life all the damn fucking time, right? Right? You see women and shit, right? Yeah, you're gonna take the chip. You're gonna be suffering in the body. You're gonna be suffering in the body. Like you've been eating all kinds of shit, jumping jacks for fun, right? You take that chip now, you're gonna be fucking hurting, bro. You know, you're gonna be hurting big time, right? Breathing sores, right? So you're gonna be suffering before you get hit with the nukes, or it means some other groups from death, dogs, whatever, getting ripped apart. Bro, the law's not playing, you know. The law's not playing, man. You don't think it's a light thing just to take the chip and die. It's not going to be as simple as that. You know, for you cop out niggas. They feel like, oh, I ain't got to do shit anyway. Well, you keep thinking that way, you're going to regret it. You know? Yeah. And so it's lucky. And that's why we don't play with these prophecies, man. We're not leaving it on the fence. You niggas are fucking leaving shit on the fence, man, because you don't want to make a firm decision on anything. You want to make it seem like it's some, oh, it doesn't really matter thing. Or if we teach this doctrine, it doesn't really matter because what's the worst that could happen? Don't test the Lord, man. You're going to find out what the worst thing can be. Right? So we're not playing with these prophecies, man. We're letting you straight from the get-go, giving away all the possible, what the RFID, what the mark of the beast is. Right? The RFID chip, man. If you want to take it, man, don't expect a peaceful death.
Yeah.
You know, don't think it's gonna be pleasant. You know? Sorry, bro.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 3 and 26 and 7 and 26. It says, a stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein.
Playing games, dangerous, it's dangerous, man. You know? But the Most High is watching what you do, man. Because at the same time, you're taking a piss. Right? The Lord don't like piss takers, man. Because you're trying to mock the Lord. Right? And the Most High is the one's going to laugh in the end because you're just dumb.
An obstinate heart shall be led us with sorrows.
Please, Pharaoh, check out the word obstinate.
An obstinate heart shall be led us with sorrows.
Should we what? Acquainted with sorrows.
Led us with sorrows.
Right? Sorrows, man. It's not going to be nice. Yep. Yeah, grasp the
Obstinate means stubbornly refusing to change one's opinions or chosen course of action.
Exactly what these other councils do. Being stubborn. You know, because you've got these leaders out here talking bullshit to you, and you believe in, you know, worship these leaders of yours. You know, rather than breaking down the scripture like you're supposed to do, going into words and, you know, like they were supposed to do, man. You understand it is what it is because of the breakdown, not because just because they said it. You know, but you will believe anything Nate says. You'll believe anything Genesis says. I don't know what these men are teaching anymore. Like, I was giving up, trying to understand. So these men are all going off, man. You know, but you like these guys too much. You was gonna say something? Sorry, something to say. No, Raza,
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's reminiscent of, like, you know, when Jake will defend Kells or Diddy or this person just because they have a affinity towards them, and it's like, bro, he's a demon. Like, yeah, he made good music. He's a demon.
He's a fucking demon.
You know, let's be real. Michael Jackson.
Freaky ass demon.
Yeah, man. You know, Michael was a freaky ass dude, man. What was he doing? Why have you got fucking Neverland? Excuse my French. Why have you got Neverland, bro? What's all that about?
You never charged, but that's nice, brother. You know, I don't want to believe it, but come on, man. Come on, man. It sounds spooky as hell. You know, but, you know, maybe he was just a young child at heart. But the thing is, with these, I can't trust nobody that's got different fucking personalities, right? Because Michael off camera, he's like, oh yeah, man, you know, should love to use it, man. Right? But on the stage, he's doing all this shit.
Oh, and it came out. That was a fake voice.
Yeah, what's normal shit? Hey, fighting what's normal shit off camera.
You know, but that's alter egos.
Yeah. Demons.
Yeah, I can't trust them, bro. I don't trust guys like that or people like that. They appear one way, at one point, and another way, another thing on stage or wherever they are. You know, I can't trust a double-minded person.
Yeah, basically.
You know,
that's how all these actors are.
Well, these actors might be even worse, but they take up multiple personas in their acting and stuff. You know, all these demons they have to channel or whatever, man. So, you know, these guys do spooky shit.
Yeah, that guy that passed away, that was the Joker for
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, they said that he always used to practice in the mirror. And
yeah, you're opening shit up, bro. You know what I mean? He did the Brokeback Mountain before, so he was already into that shit already. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sorry, he got
And the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. In the punishment of the proud, there is no remedy, for the plant of the wickedness has taken root in him.
Taking root. They're corrupted. The only people that can overcome corruption is the elect. Yeah. You know, everybody else is rooted in corruption and wickedness.
100%. This is Psalms 141. It says, "Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart."
Who's that? What is that? I mean, you got local level demons that work and shit like that, plotting on you and shit, right? But if you look at it on a global scale, that's Esau all day long.
There's levels.
There's levels.
There's levels.
There's levels where it can go to.
You know, but Esau's at the top. at the very top. He
Very
doesn't
top.
stop plotting and scheming on other people.
bro. Like he plotted on everything. Like, it doesn't matter what whether it's the food, whether it's the air. He actually purposely pollutes the air. You know what I mean?
That he breathes.
That he brings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know what it is? They might get a list of vitamins and minerals that help shit. You know,
Yeah, they got the private oxygen tanks at home,
shit,
breathing
you
and
know what I
shit,
mean?
you know, whatever.
they got shit that they got. But then bro, he's plotting up some shit out there. Yeah? Like each year, there's a new flu variant, bro.
Yeah.
Where you're like, bro, what the hell is this?
Well, you know, the flu comes from so anyway, because when they went over to the Americas, man, they never had flu and shit.
Yeah.
They got maybe not flu, but they didn't have certain diseases that Esau came over with.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the spirit because the elders in Dallas were speaking about that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just yesterday, man. Esau came with all of this fucking flu, with all these different diseases. There's disease warfare, man. You know? Yeah.
You know, and Esau's always cooking shit in the lab. Always working on some shit. And then we got guys like Fauci, you know, it's not getting a function, all this bullshit, right? They're working on stuff, man. Right? To make things more lethal than what they are.
Yeah, even the heads, you know, when they go and infect them in the abdomen, they so-called black people in Africa, they went in there with the what was it, chicken pox, vaccination. That's what they've been saying. But
And that's the thing about it. Not only do they bring in these diseases, right? They also prescribe you medication for them. So they're making money off it, man. And that medication is also making you weak. Your immune system is getting weaker and shit. You know? So he's just a total devil, man. It's violence, right? He's the one able to propagate the most violence. Because what would a violent man need a 1.5 billion or trillion army for if he's not violent? Or he keeps peace in the world, right? Oh, funny enough, you're involved in all the fucking wars, though. You know, always taking something out of it, getting something out of it. You know, like you're doing it because you care. Fuck off, man.
But it says, which, imagine if mischiefs in their heart continually are they gathered together for war.
Like the secret council of the wicked, right?
They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Others poison is under their lips. So anything that they speak about, talk about doing, even if it seems righteous, it's all going to lead to the path of death. Bro. There is nothing that he talks about. Is that he's not for the betterment of people, bro. He's
not the way of life.
The only thing he thinks about is himself. Like that's what people think.
Power and profit.
You know what I mean? Which is why the scripture says Satan's transformed himself to an angel of light. Because even the kids from a young age are even taught in film to like trust the old creepy white. You know, if you notice, like even recently, when I had to really stop my daughter watching this freak eat called Mr. Tom.
Yeah, I hate when I heard about it.
Well, because you know she was like, oh, Mr. Tom. I'm like, hold on, it's conditioning her mind to trust that. Don't trust Mr. Tom.
I don't trust no dude that does children's TV.
Yeah, bro. I was looking at.
I learned from Jimmy Savile, bro.
Yeah,
I see what happened there, bro. I don't trust none of these devils, man.
It's
It's
like,
weird.
like what?
What guy likes kids that much? Like,
Yeah.
isn't it? To act like a clown.
Yeah.
He'd be a clown. That's a clown,
Yeah.
bro. Who does that? He's
No, but he was gonna say it.
belittling something that far just to please a child, bro.
Yeah. And it's what.
As a profession, by the way.
Yeah.
Not even just an odd 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, as a profession, that's what you do to make money. That's weird, bro. It's weird. It's weird.
It's very strange.
You get access to these children.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Unless it's your own, children are annoying.
Yeah, there's no way. Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. It's not mad. It's not mad. It's a demon, bro. It's a demon, bro.
So it's real, man. So, but if you look at it again,
Flex me, bro.
all these old women, it's like the TV conditions you to just see them as non-threatening. You know, like these peace keeping troops and their missionaries. the coming. You know, I'm sure, brother. I'm sure you've seen it when you was back home. Like certain white
Edomites.
preachers
Oh yeah,
coming to the
yeah.
town to preach or whatever, and the whole time, you know, everyone's all. But then, if you know what they're really doing, bro, it's ludicrous.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what Scripture said. Never trust thy enemy.
Never trust him.
These are foundational lessons that you must know as an Israelite, right? You don't trust your enemies, and all these nations are enemies. And Esau is the top enemy, right? Don't let these smiles and polite gestures that they do here and now, now and again, deceive you from what they truly are, because they will do this on purpose. As far as I'm supposed to get in it,
Yeah,
yeah, they do that to beguile you, man, to take advantage of you, right?
This is Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Right? He is underneath the surface, right? He is the same devil he has always been, right? I mentioned earlier, can a leopard change his spots? Like, these are the scriptures we go to show that people don't change, man, right? Esau has a particular spirit, and that is the core of him, right? And he's been manifested from wickedness, right? On the left-hand side, he manifested, right? So this is what he is at his core, right? No matter how much the smiles, all this bullshit he does, or how much they go, you're right for a black guy and all this shit. Like, it's bollocks, for color guy or whatever, right? You're quite funny.
Yeah.
All this shit, like, it don't mean nothing to him. He's cold inside, man. But it's to make you feel comfortable. Oh, he thinks I'm all right.
Yeah.
To make you feel comfortable, right? But like, push comes to shove, man, your life is forfeit.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what it is with these devils. Yeah?
Go on, verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Like, these men might even go protest for you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, the Black Lives Matter and shit, these Edomites protesting you and shit. You think that means anything ultimately? It don't mean nothing. They got paid this. Some of them.
Oh yeah, because I was fuck, where is it? It's on the tip of my tongue, man. But the scriptures talk about that, man. They shall seek to please the poor. You know.
You know, because they feel bad at slavery, right? Because they feel you're hard done by. Bro, you ain't gonna do shit, right? There's no point you doing what you do. And the whole fact that Black Lives Matter was set up by these Rockefellers and shit anyway, like, who are your enemies? Like, it's all, you can't trust none of it. None of these movies can you trust. Because they're not funded by the so-called black person. Because they ain't got no fucking money.
Yeah.
So they ain't funded by us. Right? And then even if they throw in the LGBT community in there and just fuck up the whole thing, you know, and then you got some say like Jay's running off of money. It's corrupt. Because it began corrupt. It didn't become corrupt, it began corrupt. Right? Because your enemies were involved. You know?
That's
Yeah.
And it says, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou should be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Right? The looking glass is like a mirror, but it's made out of metal. Right? It's not like a glass mirror like we got today, right? They used to be made out of mirror, like proper polished mirrors, right? Metals, right? So if it got rust in it, it ain't gonna go away. You can do all that, but it's always gonna come back. It was gonna be tarnished.
nice.
Yeah. But it's always tarnished. You know? Yep.
And it says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
Bro, these white people, they're good white people. They're planners and shit. You know, they care about everybody. You know. But what did it say? Set them not by you. Don't think they're with you. Don't make that mistake. Right? Yep.
And it says, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand.
Because check this out, right? These good old Christians, right? Look what they've done to the world.
Yep.
In the name of God and righteousness and Jesus Christ and these peace lovers, love lovers, right? Look what they've done. Look how they're talking now. These Trumpites, man, they're all Christian. They're looking for blood. Looking for blood.
Like,
They're ready.
that scripture that says I'll say like Egyptian against Egyptian, that is the scripture of right now every year.
Yep.
Because, bro, you see, you know what I've read out, which I was going to mention in the video. Like, if you look at the comment to these like videos of people protesting against ICE getting snatched up by ICE, whether or not it's bots or whatever, people on there are like, let's just get the guns out. Like, a lot of people on the boards are like, look, man, let's just do it.
If I can build off that though, it's because Scripture says in Psalm 64, right, that what you call it, whose heart is deep, right? Esau goes into these things, right? So what the human psyche does is it look for confirmation bias, right? If that one person in his heart of hearts was like, man, yeah, man, I would do this, and he's gone on the comment boards and he's seen everyone is agreeing with that sentiment, that you feel emboldened.
Yeah.
So that's why stuff like Twitter, all of these, I'll be honest, I think a lot of them are bots.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's a retrain
Yeah.
and put that to trigger you, because that's why you get people legit. Like I had a guy straight ask me, so in England everyone gets stabbed, right? There's something to that effect, and it's just like, nah, bro. But because of what they see on the internet, because of and then the comments as well, that Londonistan and all of that, people start actually thinking that this is true. It starts to shape their worldview, right? Because that's why you have legit people that genuinely think and believe certain things.
And now for you, they can network now. They
Exactly.
can get together and that.
But it's spiritual though, because do you remember when the ICE thing first came about? The brothers put out the word that, hey, look, man, be careful what you post on social media, whatever. Which was spiritual, because now when you've seen a lot of these videos, it seems like when they go to door, it's like they've already got a database in place.
Yeah. Oh, they said they've been getting. Brother sent me an article in the morning saying Palantir is basically being used as a part of that.
Definitely.
And it's, but once again, it goes to show you scriptures. What you call it? Scriptures talk about giving double honor, right, based to the men that labor, but that also look after you, right? Because the apostles have long pushed that, right?
Not being on Facebook.
You're posting all all of your different views. Like, bro, if you're Joe blogs, that's one thing, innit? But if you're going on there, especially now, apparently the US is requesting, if you want to apply for a visa for the US, for your social media history and this, that, and the other, not just of you, of your family and shit like that, right? So it's a whole thing, man. He's building this database, and that's what these things were always for anyway. Right, so I would just say two things real quick. What I found it interesting that all of these major axes had their own major social media. The West had Facebook, Instagram, and that lot. China has Tencent and that lot. Russia has VK, right? Almost as if it's like the different governments needed to be able to have a database of their own people, right? And then also the last thing was just the different social medias that we had. Instagram was like how you looked in the night out. Snapchat is maybe how you look when you're just at home or whatever, because people just like post pictures privately one to another, right? So they built a whole a surveillance system, and we have as individuals have opted into that system,
Giving everything in.
Yeah.
Like a DGFC.
Yeah.
I have a quick one on that. Jeremiah 5:6. Wherefore a lion at the forest shall slay them, and a wolf of the evening shall spoil them, and a leopard shall watch over their cities. Which we always use that for the surveillance.
Yep.
But it's perfectly clear. It's perfectly clear to see that this whole situation is this is 2 Corinthians 15.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why the other day the apostle said we're in Jacob's trouble.
Yeah.
Because this is not stopping, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna
Yeah.
remember, Jacob's trouble, man. It's
Accumulated.
yeah, exactly. Things will build up and get worse, because bro, they're actually going door to door, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily go to 0 to 100.
It doesn't have to.
I'm saying Rome went down over a period of time.
Yeah, that's it.
People were disgruntled and all these types of things. So what you're seeing is it's progression.
Exactly.
Towards that very same time that we read about in Daniel 12 and 1.
And it's like that doubt in people's mind now. Like, bro, people are really getting to that point. People are gonna choose to just go and crash out, because again, Esau is the master of psychological warfare. Where it can be just in a little town, a fake event, and it would just become the mainstream, and people could be in their yards on their knees thinking, "Well, it's over. I need to protect my women and children." 357 back. Strap. And all it's gonna take is a couple of ICE agents, even if it's fake, to just get taken out on camera. And then it just
Justifies.
the idea, then the Insurrection Act, door to door. It's bro.
Esau,
Babylon's not coming back from none of this.
Esau knows how to manufacture rage, man.
Yeah.
Just look at the George Floyd protest, bro. That was the worst ninja of ninjas, right? That was the worst.
Shit, man. It would have been better off using Tupac.
That was the worst of the ninjas that you could have probably. But once again, bro, you had Polly Pocket Edomites in London, protesting for George effing Floyd. Bro, Jake, we were like, bro, F that nigga, man. Bro, it was a demon.
He wasn't right.
He was right. But then there are certain Jakes that legit, like, for instance, I always forget his name, man. But there was a Jake who's autistic or something like that. And they shot him up with ketamine. You say, oh my God. Yeah, man. That would have been, that would have been worth, like, Jake boning out. But no, Esau gave you the rage. That's why I was saying thing with the Renee Good. That's the fact that it's always on the news. Renee Good, you go on Instagram, not Instagram, but Twitter or whatever, they keep talking about it to incite that rage, man.
Even though woman was in prison, I see. I mean, the woman was not like that as well, is it? It was, going to London.
Yeah. I mean, because that's let me grab this real quick. I hate Google products.
This was a serpent, man.
Because the scriptures tell us exactly how to behave. It says this, right? This is Matthew 5:25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art with them in the way. Right? So the fact that she's trying to drive towards a cop, right? Same with Chris Carver, F that nigga too, man. Right? You see what he was doing, back and forth, and you got gun police in your face. Bro, you know I got gun. I'm like, your officer, look at my hands.
I'll be like, I know this is legal.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to
Don't agitate. You know, Jake already knows that these Edomites are trigger happy. So why are you going to trigger them? Why are you going to trigger something that's trigger happy? Let me finish this. It says, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and when the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
deliver you into a hearse, bro. Because this is what's happening.
Which I find funny, man. I was thinking about ICE, right? Because ICE, you think about a storm, right? And you basically had stormtroopers, and that's what you're starting to see in America, man. You know, you got stormtroopers just going door to door, being like, "Yo, show us your papers." This is Gestapo.
This is Gestapo, like real shit. And like, if you go into what they was doing to people off of the grids back then, Gestapo, people was getting tortured.
Well, this is it. Like,
Surveillance
America is this era's Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Right, because they're land grabbing and they're doing all different types of things, right? On the premise of American security. Right? That we have to do this. Not that we're bad guys, we just need it for our own security. But you're just land grabbing.
Yeah.
The same thing you're accused of Russia of doing, you're doing. Yeah. Like, you know. And so you're making all these reasons, all these excuses, right? Because Hitler had these excuses too.
But it's funny as well, Salat Zupan, but it's at the same time, just like back then, the Amalek is being expelled. Right? No one wants Amalek. You would be surprised. Certain people, when they get comfortable with you, which sometimes they may be testing you, you see what you go and say. Right? So you got to be wise, right? But certain people will be like, look, man, I was speaking to one Romanian, he was like a couple actually. I was like, I don't like those small hats, man. Right? The more and more you be speaking to people, they'll tell you, I don't like them small hats.
Well, it's been known for a history, man. These people are not to be liked. Right? They're not likable people. Right? It's not because they're persecuted, because they're the men of the book and all this sort of bullshit. It ain't nothing to do with that. They bring corruption wherever they go.
Oh, you grabbed that one.
Right? And this is why, you know, the woman with the short mustache, he had a problem with them. Right? Because they were doing shit that he didn't want them doing in their country. Right? But the whole premise of World War II, that's kind of all bullshit. But like, right? But he had his reason why he was doing this and doing that. Same reason Trump was saying he's doing this and doing that. but he's ostracized himself against his other allies, right? Same way Hitler was doing the same thing because they were all cool. They were all relatively cool before that point in time. You know?
Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation.
Yeah, so wherever these men are, they always causing problems, right? Always doing some kind of wickedness. And I said that like you know, he went right, but you know, he had things he had something straight.
Even him,
You know, get something straight in it.
At the end of the day, the world's a stage. Is that those who know, he was a Rothschild anyway.
Yeah, small as well.
So
You know, he just wore it on his lip.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah, because it's like one of the things that debunks that whole event, man. Once again, is that idea of fuel. We were speaking about it last week, right? To run any war, which ultimately you see America basically trying to hoard up all the world's fuel, right? Because America's got a hell of a lot of natural fuel, oil itself.
Yeah.
But it just wants everyone else. I believe they're like the
They-
largest producer.
That's
of
what I'm saying.
oil
I think they actually are the largest.
Yeah.
But they don't want to use their own.
Because I know they think because there's a difference between producer and the reserves. So, but America is something like they're the largest producer of oil.
See, the thing is about this, right? It's military. It's a military tactic. It's smart.
Yeah.
Right. It's like Man City when they came with all the big money.
Yeah,
They bought every superstar player in the world. It made it hard for anybody to get in.
Exactly.
Right. So you're depriving other teams of being good also.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're buying all the superstars. You holding everybody else, and you got your own, just means they can't wage war.
Exactly, because they haven't got the fuel to.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're in a weakened position.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it's the same thing with my man, and you know that the atrocities that they alleged, right? They didn't have enough fuel. These were the days of coal and stuff like that, right? And to when you look at a crematorium, right, the amount of energy it is required for one, and then you're telling me you did how many whilst fighting a war?
Mathematically, don't make sense.
Mathematically, the math ain't mathing.
And math is truth.
that's it.
You know, there's just no
Yeah.
truth. There's no truth of them.
Second,
Not large producer, but they're just large producer.
producer, yeah, daughter,
Yeah, America. You know,
Which after that period, the population of them in Europe increased.
exactly.
And that story of
That was one there.
it set the stage for them to go into the land. Man.
yeah, that's it.
That's what it's set up to do.
Yeah,
You know,
which is a whole
Zionist agenda.
the Zionist agenda that went back to the 1800s. Because even from the 1800s, they was buying land in Israel, and they was buying it slow by slow.
Peaceful.
Yeah. It's actually they actually had a council of it, late 1800s. What's the name? Theodore Herzl, whatever. You know, world Zionist, organization, which would even happen before that. But it was rich businessmen buying up land in Israel. Yeah. And then slowly there was
Isn't it? It's a whole just an elitist movement.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was the Rothschild, these men that wanted the land.
Yeah.
Right? These Orthodox or whatever, they didn't care. They don't even care now. They'd rather live in America.
Yeah.
You know, wherever they are. They don't want to go back to Israel. You know, but like you'd imagine that if it's been set up, if the Holy Land's been set up, right? You imagine they would go back, innit? But they'd be safe there.
Yeah.
But they're not safe there. Why? Because prophecy hasn't been fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because they don't fulfill the prophecies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. One of the reasons that man do enjoy going there is because they're legally allowed to lord over them Palestinians. Huh? So any of them that have bloodlust or whatever, you be seeing certain of the videos, bro. They'll just roll up in a man's yard and be like, "Ow!"
It's really true. Did a BBC interview, right? And he was talking about the atrocities that they're going to be doing. You know, basically they're doing what the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Even though scripturally these things are not correct, bro.
Yeah.
These men are sodomizing people and all kinds of shit.
No, remember the thing they were basically taking the old Palestinian women's knickers.
Yeah,
I'm wearing it's like
what's wrong with you, bro? It's weird. It's like, why?
the spirit is not upright.
It's weird, bro.
Could I grab this? So Psalm 64 verses 5 and 6, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, you shall see them.
Right? It's all stage defense, all you know, propaganda, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I was thinking about this recently, man. It's like, if this man can make the entire world believe he stepped foot on the moon. Yeah. Everyone believes that, but you go to work later on or whatever, and you tell, yeah, man, the moon landing never happened. Everyone gonna look at you sideways. Yeah. Right. That is something that they staged on the global stage, right? So then imagine what they're gonna do to us. I was thinking about it. If they can make everyone believe they stepped foot on the moon.
Bro, but this is the thing. This is why the devil is crazy, right? What he makes you believe, right? Because some people would laugh, atheists would laugh at us because we believe in a God that they've never seen, never witnessed, right? But to say they landed on the moon, like, did they witness that? They saw it on the TV, right? Well, I've seen God on the TV too. So I don't know. How are we going to compare this now?
You mean to tell me?
Yeah. No one ever saw it.
Yeah.
These men say they were there. Yeah. Buzz Aldrin, or his damn name is Armstrong. They don't want to talk about it. Yeah. These are the same men. They don't want to talk about it. And they ain't been back since.
Yeah. Well, if it just on that, we know they've never been, but they officially say they went 5 times. That's what they officially say. But yeah, because it's like, so a scoffer's going to be like, no, actually, they went 5 times.
Good for them.
They never went. Trust the science.
But that's what I'm saying. They said they went 5 times. If you could prove that to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they've gone to space.
Yeah.
But they'll do the same. They'll do the same thing. God exists. We'll prove they went to the moon. Exactly. And they can't do it. Oh, but it's documented. Yeah, Bible here documented too.
That's self.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Whatever.
Because then it's like, all right,
at least we know it's not flat.
Yeah. Because then it's like, all right, cool. You say you went 5 times, yeah. So why did you stop? That's one of the things. When have white people ever done this? So-called white people ever gone somewhere and stopped?
Why did these moves already?
Shit, man. If Esau could go to the moon, there'll be a petrol station there. Yeah, there'll be a petrol station, a strip club.
Well, they would engrave the American flag on the moon or something like that. Just to say America was here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All I can see is a bunch of craters.
Exactly.
You know?
This is a quick one. This is Psalms 58. And 1. It says, do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O you sons of men? Yea, in heart you work wickedness. You weigh the violence of the hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born speaking lies.
So the bottom line is you can't be trusted. Not to say everything you say is untrue, but a large portion of it is. Right? And so until we can verify it, or it can be verified in spirit, we're not just gonna accept what you've got to say without no real evidence. You know? You can say all these great things that you've done, well, until you can prove that, man. Because as far as we're concerned, the only time we ever hear it is on the news. Right? Some scientist, who's a Mason. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to believe?
And say they thought you.
Yeah, lies, bro.
And what you call on that? It's I forget the ins and outs of it, but it's like when you look at a lot of these sciences, people think that science is just someone who has an idea can just say what it is and then it comes out. No, science is an institution, right? You get something where it's like when you come up with a paper, right, scientific paper, it gets what? Peer reviewed, right? And then you may be speaking the most facts, but if the system doesn't want that to come out, they'll just be like, but I want, and then they'll discredit you. Then all of your entire body of work isn't allowed to, isn't published. Is then completely discredited.
Yeah, doesn't turn up on the news. But you find out how quick these things end up on the news all of a sudden. Yeah. Every time that happens, it's already in the news. The day they did it, it's already in the news.
Yeah.
Where is the peer review? Yeah. For certain things, because a lot of shit that we've heard and learned in that are not true. Like there's things that are speculation that are taught as truth. because based on the theory, this sounds probable. Well, we don't do it probables. Probable is not the truth. Based on your maths, which could be flawed. You know, underlying thing could like, how is it like the Einstein relativity theory? Like, you know, it tells you about everything, but then in some places it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then how can it definitively work for everything else then? Or are there some nuances there that you might have wrong?
I remember the elder Barakat, he sent me a vid and it was going into black holes. And the whole thing with the black hole it's basically the equation was an equation then. So they invented black holes.
There must be a reason for this not working.
Because basically it was something to the effect of, well, 2 + 2 is not equaling 10. So let's add a black hole. So 2 + 2 + black hole equals 10. That's basically what Esau did with black hole. Right? This man's a devil. And on that, it says 1 Timothy 6:20. Oh, Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called.
Right, and so they'll tell you that, you know, black holes are not really observable, right, because they eat light, so you can't actually see them, right? But the void of light shows you they exist or something like that, right? No one's ever seen them. They send all these telescopes out there to view the universe and whatever, supposedly, right? How do I know that's just not Hollywood? You know what I'm saying? There is no different way you could say for sure that that's just not made in the lab somewhere. All these pictures that we get of you know, what do you call them? Like stellar, you know, structures and stuff like that. We don't know where it actually came from. You're just trusting NASA that they took the picture. They're an accredited association who speak the truth. That's what your faith is telling you, that you should trust them. But you've been told that NASA they deal with space, right? But these Nazarites, right? So they're Edomites at the core of it, and they don't tell truth. They fabricate lies, and so what is true and what's not true, you can't verify, because they're the gatekeepers of that information. Your information you're getting is from them, right? And like I said, I've seen a whole bunch of movies, man, with impressive graphics, CGIs, and all kinds of stuff. I've seen all kinds of things.
Hey, they're
Watch Interstellar, the black hole in it is crazy. You know.
Oh yeah, for real. And then they have the waves. There was another land and everything like that. You know.
You might have thought they was in space, but you know it was just a movie. But because you're being told this is facts, how am I supposed to know? I'm just a peon on the ground that can't do no space, you know, experiment because I ain't got the equipment to do that.
Over billions.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I can't travel up in there, so I don't know. But we're trusting you, the devil. It's ironic to tell us the truth about that stuff. But you're the devil, so how can I trust you?
It's the book of Psalms 144 and 11. Read me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood.
Right hand of falsehood, man. So you're very difficult to believe, man. Especially when you know the truth, you're difficult to believe. Right? And even the scripture speaks about the heathen are dismayed at the signs of heaven. Yeah. What do you know? You can't even get the zodiacs right in the paper. You know the paper, you got the zodiacs and stuff, man. Look, even get that right. Just some vague shit. Some from psychic. Yeah, the zodiac sign, the Aquarius sign. Yeah, you're gonna meet someone in the blue dress today. You know, number 12, your lucky number. Always fucking bullshit. Oh, what the fuck do you know about the stars in heaven? These Egyptians put their new shit, man. They got dismayed too. The most sides they make you look dumb on every fucking level, man. Your knowledge is nothing.
Yeah. Because the astrologers that you work, all these different heathens have worked with, ultimately they got the power from the left hand side, which is of the Most High anyway.
And Satan deceived and the deceiver are the Lords, right?
You.
And he's got Satan working with you, telling you all kind of bunch of shit. Yeah, and some stuff works. Oh, here's a nuke. You know, some stuff works, isn't it? But it's like ultimately Satan's deceiving you.
I've set the bounds that he cannot pass. Right? The Lord has given Esau certain wisdom and knowledge, but all for this last day.
Yeah, to set himself up. You know, so how reliable was the information? Because it's on the left hand side. How reliable was it? Esau believed the lie. He believes he's the fucking king of the universe. He's untouchable.
Yeah.
But he's not.
It's deep. Because you know what's interesting as well. When you look at the narrative, all things ultimately will work for good 12 tribes of Israel. It's kind of the Lord's elect, of course. But ultimately, if it is like, no matter the situation, it's going to work out for him. But he, no matter his power right now, whatever, it's going to work. It's going to work back for him. No matter his intelligence, knowledge is increased. Blah blah blah. That's not what it's.
Well, he's still smarter than he's ever been.
Yeah.
And he's still going to end up in the same place.
Yeah.
Because that's what poverty dictates. Yep.
So we could put Isaiah 47 and 10.
Spirit.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none sees me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee.
Okay, wisdom knowledge has perverted you. And so many others that believe it. So we're not here with to join a consensus with the world and what they believe. You got all these smart guys out there that believe in these different theories and whatever, right? But again, you can't prove them to me, to any of us. A lot of the stuff that you do, you can do an experiment here on Earth, and you make a little example of it. But a lot of stuff is just based on theoretical science, And so there's no real reason for me to believe you because there's no evidence. Just based off mathematical equation. That this must exist or don't exist or whatever the case may be. Because you're going to say most I don't exist because you haven't come to that conclusion yet with your maths and all that kind of stuff, right? Theories. Then what do you really know then? All this stuff like, oh yeah, the center of the universe and it's expanding and all these types of things, like, how do we know? And I always kind of thought it was bullshit back at school, right? They used to have a maths part where we would measure like redshift and distance between stars and planets and stuff like that. I think, what the fuck can you do just through maths? Like, you can't even, sometimes, you're cutting wood, you can't even measure the angle right on a piece of wood. Bro, get accurate on a piece of wood that you have right in front of you. How are you going to measure something that's light years away? Right? And tell me the angle of this and this is from this and that, bro. I'm like, come on, bro.
There's a level of maths that you just don't know.
It's not, my point is, it's not empirical.
Yeah.
Because you can't just use a ruler to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's theoretical.
But
It all has to be theory.
in terms of E, there's this shit he ain't gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, the scripture says he stretches out the heaven and the earth.
Yeah.
It's always expanding.
Like, you can just figure out how the planet is or what star is based on the light that's around it. I'm like, I find it hard to believe. I mean, I'm not. I wasn't the greatest at maths anyway. I might acknowledge that, but it's like, even just sounds stupid to me. That you guys believe you can do that, or you can do that.
But slugs, as people will say, it's like, but wait, yeah, Earth has hella problems, bro.
Exactly.
Why are you looking up that way?
That's the other issue.
That's it, yeah.
That's the other issue. But again, going back to the beginning, it's all pride.
Yeah.
Only it's all pride. What can I know?
Yeah, well, actually, no, it's in the precepts, right? In Jeremiah 31. Is it? If I can grab this real quick,
sure.
It says Jeremiah. Because this is it. He's got two things on his mind: pride and how to destroy Jacob. It says Jeremiah 31 from 35 says, "Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, if heaven..."
And here's the irony, right? If he could do all that stuff, right? Measure the stars and whatnot, he would destroy us. But everything he's doing, these own destruction.
Yeah,
Because he's trying to find that out.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? That's Jake say. You played yourself.
Think yourself.
It says, thus saith Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done.
Neither has he been able to do. Neither of those.
Yeah. Which I mean is beautiful because it's just like the Lord is like, yeah, go on,
then.
measure it.
Yeah, go on.
And then at the same time he's expanding it constantly.
Yeah. And it's the same thing like he told Satan to go bother Job.
Yeah.
Most likely Job wasn't going to give in to Satan because he wasn't made to. But like, go and try.
Yeah.
Even the fact that that's the sea, there is a level where you're like the ship break.
Yeah. Oh, have you watched the documentary on Netflix about the Ocean Gate?
Oh,
The guy that went to
The
go visit it.
submarine.
Yeah.
And it just combusted.
Yeah, combusted. And that was another whole thing. But bro, everyone knew they were dead. That's the thing. They actually all knew they were dead immediately. the Coast Guard, alleged, subs. Obviously, they've always got stuff listening, right? They heard it. You even hear it at the end of the documentary.
That rich guy that took some
Yeah,
guys
people
recently,
down.
like,
Yeah, like
okay.
2 years ago. They knew immediately that he was dead. But then they put on this whole thing. They've got 3 hours of oxygen left. Well, they knew they were dead immediately. Like
Became a sardine can.
the sub. Yeah, it's like the different military submarines. You hear the audio at the. You actually hear, so they heard immediately that the thing exploded, and even in the documentary they show a video of like the wife or something when it happens, when they lose contact, and it's almost like she knew, or that they heard or something like that, right? But that was a whole farce for everyone to see. I was bringing that up because if they can do that the oceans can do that to what was it, carbon fiber and all of this shit. Yeah, and fish can survive down there.
Fish,
Yeah, big ass fishes.
Yeah,
The Lord's out there, man.
big ass fishes and small fishes.
Precept in that.
That's the thing. It's so damn dark down there too.
Yeah.
It's like you can't see nothing.
Oh,
Creatures with them type of eyes can see what they're doing. Obviously.
Yeah.
It's like,
They have their own life.
Yeah. It's bioluminescence and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, these because the deeper you go, these species tend to be bigger because they deal with the larger pressures, so they grow bigger. They could to survive in the environment. All them big things down there.
Yeah.
Right, but like that's why our place is on the land.
yeah,
We not.
Oh yeah.
We're meant to be in the sea.
stay here.
Exactly. Chill.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to find all that down there.
You're gonna go for a swim.
Bro,
Don't come back.
look at the sea down there, it's dark.
Yeah, that's chill.
Why are you going down there for? Because I can't. Like, come on, bro. That's like the hubris, the pride of man. Get you in trouble, man.
Precept. It says Psalms 104:24. Oh Lord Yahweh, how manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches.
Yeah, like in truly in wisdom. Like you know what Esau always says. Like if they could harvest the power of one tree and put that back on the grid, they could power oh earth
Yeah.
back off of a
Yeah,
tree,
energy
off
with-
an energy. It's like, bro, there's limits where of our understandings where you've just been locked out of that.
Yeah.
Which is gonna get back to us back in the kingdom.
It's like I always think say, because I was thinking about this a while back. They all say that Tesla never wrote down anything. I'm actually of the view now. Probably he may have wrote certain things down, and then they were just like, this ain't
Top secret.
Bro, he wrote down a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They just said
They don't want it to come out.
This is not practical for our pockets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember that dude found a way to have a metal rod just in the ground and it's harvest all the energy around it. It was basically free energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Which all of those stories, it gives us a glimpse of, that in people, yeah, exactly. It was like people think that the kingdom of Israel is just we're going to go back to, as they say, the dark ages. Nah, it's going to be wisdom and science.
Bro, do you not hear the
Never.
scriptures? There was no light needed by day and no night. Bro, we're gonna be on all the time.
We're just on.
We're gonna be on.
Never on.
Bro, I'm being facetious, but there's you imagine, because all it is time. Knowledge builds up with time, right? And the children of Israel are on such a different level. Over time, you're gonna produce so much crazy stuff,
Bro,
You're gonna produce so much crazy stuff.
like just not knowing not knowing any of the concept of death.
Yeah.
Like in terms of
One guy can master something and master even more.
Master
It's just
that.
go
It's
to the
like-
next level.
Have you ever obviously it's not in the comparison at all, but have you ever played when you play a person's game that's already reached the last level? He's got all the trinkets, bro. This is just bare advanced. You know what I mean? I'm still on level 9.
Exactly.
Difference is mad.
It's like meeting Thanos when he's got all the rings.
Rings.
Like, because if you're rating Esau what he's done in the last 100 years or whatever, right? All these industrial movements and technology we got now, it's all amazing. Bro, it's only been 100 years.
Yeah.
Not even and we had the cars and stuff. It's only a bit more than 100 years or whatever, right? Imagine in the kingdom, the technology we're gonna possess.
Not for them.
in infinity. You know what I'm saying? Over infinity.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like when you look at a lot of this technology, man, it's actually been highly destructive. Highly destructive. Right? And I always talk about this, I understand, raising children ain't easy, but it's like, yo, that device for a child. Because I was thinking about this. If adults get addicted to Instagram, you take Instagram off an adult, they're bugging out. How much more so about a child's mind and how they're getting hooked, how their what do you call it, nervous system and everything like that is basically being hijacked from a very young age, right? And Esau understands this because it hijacks our minds as adults. As adults, our minds get hijacked by all of this technology. Our attention span is cooked, right? Because and Esau will know, okay, at this refresh rate, it's doing this and that to your mind, right?
Your brain on fucking standby, man.
Yeah, all of the bright ass colors, like that cocoa melon, right? That cocoa melon is straight crack for children, man.
And then another thing I was thinking about, all this knowledge that we have currently, right? It's all outside knowledge at the end of the day. Esau just use it the way he wants to use it. So you don't think that this type of technology we've got now, there is no other way to utilize all this stuff, right? Because it's knowledge the Most High already has.
Yeah,
it's given to Esau to use in a wicked manner. But the same technology or similar technology can be used in a better way. So it's not like we're all going back to fucking candles and lamps, because we ain't got lights. Because we haven't got electricity. Bro, we're gonna have electricity, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be harnessing solar power and everything, bro. We're gonna, it's gonna be crazy, bro. Your mind can't comprehend it yet. Because you think this is like peak humanity, bro.
Esau makes it think that he's the only one that's ever come up with it.
Yeah, which that's a lie too. Because a lot of things get built for him that he takes credit for.
So, this is Second Esdras 6:27. For evil shall be put out, deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which has been so long without fruit shall be declared. So yeah, man, all this, period of darkness, because really, the earth is under really dark. You know what I mean? But like truth and knowledge and righteousness shall be, basically everywhere, like mainstream, like viral. You know what I mean? Because now wickedness is viral. Everywhere is being run by wickedness. It's cool to be wicked. But like in the kingdom, everything's gonna be flipped.
Oh yeah, Scripture Isaiah 29:16. Turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a pot's clay. And people look at you sideways if you. So why did you do with that chick? Oh no, she had a man. What? But she was offering. She had a man, bro. People look at you sideways for not doing anything, for doing the righteous thing and leaving her alone, man.
Boundaries are going to be set. Yeah, boundaries are going to be enforced and existing again, man. But another thing I was thinking about the technology thing, man, because also adds to the pride is the speed of which you accumulate this knowledge.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? In the kingdom, we're gonna have an infinite amount of time, so we're not gonna be in a rush to do anything necessarily. You don't have to be anything. But Esau, where he's got so much knowledge in such small amount of time, his mind's fucking exploding. It's like, oh shit, and they can't handle this information really. And so he's just doing the most. But if he's on such a fucking level now, everything's unlocked to him, it's all rushing to him, innit? But it's causing your downfall. Because you don't have a proper understanding of it yet. They say in the kingdom we have all these different types of knowledge, man, but we're not necessarily going to need to be in a hurry with it. Because we've got time to perfect and do all these different types of things. Esau just wants to get it out there.
Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Ultimately, it's the Most High that increased the knowledge, man. Once all for this last crescendo, right? Because it is true. What does it say? It says in the prophecies, behold, the second war is past, and the third war cometh quickly. Yeah, right. And part of that third world was is basically the increase in technology. Because like now, you got certain of these. I talk about this even now. Like even the conventional weapons, you be thinking, damn, yo, that's messed up. Man. Like the bunker buster that they used on certain of the bunker busters, where it's like the way it's designed, it's got like a primary munition, which opens up the hole, right? And then behind it is the real thing, so that it can go deep underground. So you'll be having someone just like deep underground, a couple of meters under, and for the bunker buster, they call it bunker buster, just go straight down and hits. It's like, wow. You know, that's before we even talk about the nuclear stuff.
Even some of them, even just some of the bullets.
Yeah.
The shit don't have to hit. If it just goes in
Oh,
that radius,
it rips
your arms off.
Yeah.
Shit,
With the force, bro.
But no, but this is the thing though. Like I said, everything's kind of been sped up because the last days, right? Everything's kind of been sped up. Knowledge and that. Because back in the ancient world, things were slow. Things were extremely slow. So to a point where right now, because you live in this world, we find it intolerable. You know, cooking a meal would just be half hour, an hour thing. Yeah, it's probably prepared. We'll take the day.
Hey, you know what? So
No,
so you know when you look at certain recipes, man, like you know you get that Vietnamese soup, that pho, right? But I was like a 2-3 hour recipe, man. It's good because you got you gotta chop up bare veg, right? That's why I look, because it's very healthy for you, isn't it? Like when there ain't no unclean stuff, it's very healthy. You see the amount of prep time you need for that kind of dish is insane, right? Nobody really ain't got time for that.
But you know what he will do? Full in a packet.
Yeah, exactly.
Just add hot water.
bare chemicals. Yeah, bare chemicals. Fuck you up. But here's the thing. I think the world needs to slow down anyway. Because people are stressed out because of how fast life's moving. You know, obviously in some nations, obviously it's not built up like this. You know, things are still slower. But like in here in the West, everything's just too fast. Everyone's rushing around, man, working, going to bed. You know what I mean? They ain't got time for nothing. Really. Everything's too fast, man. We need to kind of just chill for a bit. There's no need to keep going on to the next thing straight away all the time. But Esau's on a mission.
I believe I've heard one of the elders basically speak about how time is used as a weapon there, man. Like in the kingdom. Yeah, you can just do it.
You don't worry about time.
Yeah, you can do it
Sometimes
tomorrow.
on your side, it's always there. You know?
Precept. Sure. Isaiah 24, verse 4. And it says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Like these people are languishing. Like even recently, what did they say? Remember the stat, man? You know what I mean? Of alcohol. Like how much the companies lost a lot of money.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we basically going into the research recently, where they were saying like now more than ever, people are spending like the least on alcohol. Because guess what? Everyone's fucking depressed, and guess what? The alcohol isn't working as much no more. Because all these people are losing their minds, man.
Yeah, they say they drink bitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they drink about a song or something like that.
Basically,
Trip
we're
on
still gonna make
a
it
song,
very normal. Instead of drinking wine for mirth, now it's for grief.
Yeah.
You know? Right?
And it says, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
You know, like that's under Esau, man. Under Esau, these elites. You know? It's like this earth is in its worst state. Like the mindset of the men and women, hate relationships, and just the job sector, the housing sector, everything is just fucked.
You can't live any. I mean, not that we were living before, but it's like now people are. Yeah, but this is the thing once again. How's Jake? What's there like? Oh, this is new to you. How's Jake? Well, this is new to you. Oh, this is how we've been living. You know, like for instance, you now have this something called doom spending, right? The theory behind or the concept behind this is this: like, basically, you can't save anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well just spend it, right? But then when you read the curses, Haggai 1:6, right? Either speaks about how as Jake's, that's how we've been living. Right, a bag full of holes. Right, you be hearing, you be like, yes,
They
got, you know, exact payday, then direct debit. And before you know, it's like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah, the earth needs to slow down, man. You know, it's been part of its problem, man. We're just progressing too quickly and it's just destroying people, man. They can't adapt quick enough. You know, it's like life is much slower pace, man, and less stressful. You know, and that's why everyone's bugging out because they're stressed all that time.
You could enjoy something, like you know, when life was so. And what I mean by that is just like, and that's why I love what do you call it? You know, you might be, you know, with a brother and his children, right? And then you just be seeing the child, observing the child, just like actually looking at them, be like, oh, it'll be the flower. I'll be just looking at the flower, and like because we live in such fast-paced life, we're like, yeah, that's beautiful. The Most High designed it in such a way where it you know, what do you call it? It reproduces, right? Scripture says a seed within itself, right? But as an adult, because Esau's put you constantly like in fast-paced mode, right? You don't take time to appreciate was the word that I was going to come back. You don't take time to appreciate the Most High's what do you call it? Works, man. Right? Even certain things that are abhorrent to us. You know, I've never liked worms. I don't like worms. I don't fucking don't like them. They look all weird. They move funny and stuff. But they're very important because because the way they burrow through the soil, they help aerate the soil. Yeah. You know, but those are the works of the Most High, man. Oh, nice.
Verse 6. Oh, are you still listening? Yeah, oh yeah.
It's the book of Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
So, you know, the Most High is speeding up this current time that we're in, and that's why everything's happening in a short space of time. There's all these things that came into the world, man. It's happening in a short space of time, relatively. All this technology, you know, industrial thing, you know, revolutions, and that's all come relatively soon, like not too long ago, right? But it's also bringing about its end, all these things. So we know this world hasn't got much time left. And as Esau right now, he's in a global domination tour right now, and is about to bring war to the earth. You know, bring World War III.
Yeah. Back in Isaiah 24, verse 6, and it says, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The new wine mourneth.
Because like you know all this push about the digital IDs now. Why are we being rushed into it? It pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Bro, if it took another 30, 40, 60, 100 years, who the fuck cares? Like it shouldn't matter that much, but because they're bringing around scenarios where like you need it, immigrants, you need it. Bro, why are we rushing for it?
Yeah.
It's not really changing nothing, ultimately, but it's making these companies money in the meantime, you know, and they're getting their new world order in place.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, but it doesn't really benefit us like that, really. It's not, you know what I mean? We didn't need it. The whole country we don't need.
all of that, like, you look, man, regardless of what Tommy Robinson tells you, you're illegal, you can't work. That's already the rules.
Yeah.
Right, it's already the rules. The digital ID just basically means that you can track anyone that is legal, because people that are illegal are working anywhere in the UK. But the framework is such that actually you can't get a what they call a national insurance number, I believe similar to the Social Security in the US, right? Which means you then can't actually actively go in and be employed. If you're being employed, you have to give your passport or something that says you have the right to work in the UK.
That's right.
You can't just go to and rent, right? You've got to provide once again your passport or your right to rent in the UK, right? Basic point I'm making, that system is already there. So all of the excuses that they gave for the digital ID, the loopholes will still remain, right? Because you're still going to have someone that is happy to pay the fine if they get caught employing someone illegally, or if they get caught housing someone illegally, right?
Is that this rush towards AI? Why do we need AI? Like, there's no real need for it. We was doing fine before. You know,
it was doing better. It's a bigger hindrance.
That's what I'm saying. People are suffering because of AI. You know, but because it benefits a few.
It's really because he knows he has a short time. That's it.
This is why we're being rushed in this direction. It's not because it's like this is natural. It's not natural at all. You know, it's because the devil is at work.
Yeah, because really all of that trying to be a diplomat, you know, be reasonable. He wants to rule. He wants slavery. Like they want mass slavery. Like, you know what I mean? You know what it is, yeah? Like, because people think history is far away. Like, what I mean by that is, you might hear the like stories of like, let's say, Nazi Germany, Gestapo, going door to door, and if you go into the research, it's deep. Like, they really had a period of like severe public distrust where everyone was pointing fingers at each other. Like that basically the 1984 film 1984. That was a period of time of that whole situation whereby you didn't know who to trust. Basically, everyone was being spied on. Everyone's conversations was being recorded and monitored. You could be this, and you know what's interesting if you compare the Gestapo and ICE. It got to a stage where there was so many people a part of the Gestapo, but you couldn't really tell who was part of it. And it's like now, you know, the ICE is masked up. Everyone's all masked up.
Yeah.
So you don't really know.
Yeah.
But people feel like that history was like
Yeah.
a million years ago.
But you know what's funny though, because so you saying that, I was just thinking about something, man. Like what during the CV, so one of the things that they did during the CV, China specifically, was they basically learned how to unmask you, right, with AI and basically with their technology and stuff like that, right? So basically, they did something where like even if you were wearing a mask, they'd still be able to see who you are. And if you remember, iPhone released the feature where you could unlock your mask because you know they have Face ID.
Yeah.
You could unlock your face with your mask on. Because people obviously are gonna that they actually built that into the iPhone and stuff like that, right? So all of this, you know, right now, ICE is all masked up, but it's like the technology exists to unmask these people. Because that's the thing with Esau right now. He's so emboldened online because he can be anonymous. Here it is. It's your boss from work. Typing fucking whatever have you.
Keyboard
At work, he's just there like, hey, how are you doing, Greg? You good? Yeah. All of this sort of stuff, right? But that's why there's a whole big push to basically make social media no longer anonymous, man. Right?
Precept. It's Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. And what does that woe represent? Destruction, man. Destruction is coming, and it's inevitable, man. I had time to wake up, and it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down onto you, yeah, having great wrath. And who's that devil referring to? Because a lot of people think it's a red man with a pitchfork,
Which I find funny, right? Because every time they portray Satan, he's red, right? Why? Where's that description in the scriptures? Of saying it doesn't exist, right? But there is someone that's red in the scriptures.
That's right. That's right.
There's someone red in the scriptures. Right? And you Edomites, man, you're the red man.
That's
Right? You happen to be the ones in power. Who's the thought?
But the devil has come down onto you having great wrath, and he's going to show that wrath with what? His military might, as you see in the ICE agents. Yeah, police brutality is going to increase. AI, Palantir, robots.
Yeah, it's not even going to be called police brutality. This is going to be called policing.
Police state.
Policing.
Standard tier.
And I was like, oh, you disagree? Get him.
Yeah. And they guess what? They show you this in movies, man. Like the brother mentioned 1984, especially the original one in 1956.
V for Vendetta, I think is a great depiction.
Yeah.
A great remake of 1984 as well. I kind of feel like they're in the same vein. But it's just like, because one thing I remember on the side of the police van, the bully vans as we call them in London, right? You basically see for your protection, right? That's what's written on them, and that's how Esau frames things. Hey, Iran, if you want that freedom, just keep protesting.
That's right.
It's like, bro, what America's got to offer you ain't freedom.
And that movie, Will Smith, Enemy of
Enemy of the State.
Enemy of the State. That's it. Yeah. Deep movie as well, man.
Tracking you all the time.
Yeah. Ultra surveillance.
Yeah. It's like, because it's like, I say this all the time, but the way the West does surveillance is very different to the way that East Asia does surveillance. Like China will just have the camera. Like the government will pay for the camera. Whereas in the West, we basically like, everyone with a Ring doorbell, everyone with whatever cheap, not cheap, but any other make. Right, because Ring doorbells are hella expensive.
Yeah,
Because you need a subscription as well to
subscription now.
Ah,
It's going to the cloud.
the cloud, yeah, but who owns the cloud?
Amazon.
Amazon owns the cloud, right? So basically, it's just a way for now we are paying for our own surveillance, and it's always a thing of when you watch like a crime in a secluded area, you'll see Ring at the bottom of the fucking security video, security footage, right? So basically, we're paying for the police state that we're building, right? But that's it. Esau is basically, regardless of where in the world it is, it's like you can't do anything in it. Starlink is a big part of that because before there would have been places where there weren't no net like that, but now everyone's. Well, you see the Starlink map is fucking everywhere, man.
Crazy, man. And it says, "For the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time."
And that's why everything's moving the way it is right now, man. We're drawing closer and closer to the end, man. It's all evident for us to see, for those that can see it. Like there's not much time left in this place, man. We're gonna see the MOTB real soon.
But and that's the thing, though. It's like deep down. But deep down, that's what the people want, man. Right, whether they understand it standard or not. This is Romans 8 and I always forget where it is, so I can even find it real quick. Ernest, I think it is Romans 8, right? Yeah, Romans 8:19. Right, it says, "For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestations of the sons of the Most High." Right, so all of earth, all of creation, ultimately, right, is waiting for us to be empowered.
But like we read earlier, there'd be no fresh say otherwise. Esau will bring this world to ruin, irrecoverable ruin, man.
That's it.
And you need the righteous, you need Yahweh's kingdom to rule, to bring life back to the earth. But even the scripture speaks about it in the Apocrypha, I can't remember exactly where it is in the Esdras. They told you that the 10 parts have gone already.
Yeah. Ezra's, Shalom.
Because it's waxing weak, right? In the time of this era, this world, let's call it the old world, under the heathen, under Esau and that, right? What was it?
14:11.
You can grab it.
Where the world is divided into 12 parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is 2 Ezra 14 and 10. "For the world hath lost his youth."
Right? It's lost its youth, right? It's growing weaker, right? Because it's not been treated right. The wicked on the earth has really defiled the earth, and none so more than Esau, because he's done real damage to the earth, man. All these pollution and all these type things that he's doing, the wickedness he does on it, right? The blood that he shed, and so on, right? So the earth is at its weakest point right now, right?
Yep. It says, "And the times begin to wax old. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already."
Right, so they represent ages of times, eras, right? In this current world set before the new world, which is Yahweh's kingdom, right? Because when the scripture speaks about a new earth and new heaven, new earth, it's just speaking about a reunion, kainos, right? It's going to be refreshed, right? Not that the earth's going to be replaced; it's just a refreshing of the earth, right? It's going to mark its next era or its new foundation, so to speak.
Yep. It says, "And the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of the 10th part. And there remaineth that which is after half of the 10th part. And now therefore," that's going in. Yeah.
So these
The
parts
different
represent
ages.
thousands of
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
right? From the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're in the last stages of this now. We're in the 12th part, right? Which is Esau's kingdom, right? Because there's also 12 a visual completion, right? And so this is the end of this old era before the new era of Yahweh's kingdom comes in, right? But this world's growing weak, so everything's fucked up right now,
So,
And so we're needing the Lord and the Israelites to come and rule the earth to bring back everything back to how things were, to bring the earth back into its strength, so people can live better lives.
so it's like it, so people can live.
Yeah. This ain't the heaven. This ain't the heaven.
Yeah, for real. And it'd be real. That's why once again it's like you see different nations, especially in America, different states, legalizing weed and stuff like that, so that people can just escape. Right? That's why Esau is pushing escapism to the max, right? Because people are through, right? And then people are having to cope in this way, that way, this way, that way, man.
Yeah. No, but like I said, life is not about this. And like I said, we've been caused to focus on things we don't really need to. Right? This life is such a fucking hectic, you know, way of living.
Yeah. But I think about this as well sometimes. Like, people have an issue with the scriptures, right? But the scriptures say, really, after 7 years of working for someone, you should be good. These times, what, the retirement age from like 20 after university, right? At the average person, 21 or whatever. And then you're supposed to work till you're 65, 70 years old.
Through.
You're through. Yo, listen, we live in a world where the idea of eternal life in this world basically means he's finding a way for you to work forever.
Yeah. If you give it up, if you leave it up to Esau, boy, well, he'd be 95 on that forklift. You'd be 95 years old.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Oh,
right?
shit's
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Look,
Because Esau don't want you to work no more.
Yeah.
Right? AI gonna drive the forklift.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're just gonna be in a pod,
And you're gonna watch it on TV.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch your program on TV.
Yep.
Right? Because that's what you're gonna be.
That was that Black Mirror episode, man.
Right? But this is the side way. 'Cause man needs to work.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
not
man
get
needs
twisted.
that.
Man needs to work, right? And this is the thing. That's why Esau he just fucked up, right? It's not like, you know, I know man complain about working because Esau was running you, innit? He's tired, innit? They were running your shit, but
So I was gonna say, like, when we work, we're not building anything for ourselves.
no. There's no real
You know.
investment in it, really, like that.
So once again, when them Edomites were living good in the 50s and that, well, they would work a few years and then they'd be able to build a customized house. It'll be a nice house, sister, and the other live in the suburbs, have, you know, carpet him and his wife. Like, when you could feel the fruits of your labor.
Yeah. So what you can do is get a mortgage for one of these shit.
Exactly.
Places, live next door, right next door to your neighbors.
Yep.
And like fucking fill the walls.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't feel like your work is anything.
Yeah.
You know, and like, well,
So like in this world, you work to pay bills.
yeah.
And that's
Bag for the holes, isn't it? It's just that you get by with it.
it's so fun. Now people are legit, like they don't want to have children, but it's like it's too expensive. Like nursery, what can easily be for 2 children, can even be like over minimum wage.
Bro, no, bro. Bro, when it gets dark, it gets dark. Like I've seen some nurseries, bro. 3 days a week, one child,
And
£1,000,
and it's subsidized.
and
It's crazy. It's subsidized and you're still paying that much.
Damn.
So it's not even like say, oh, the government's not helping. You know, the government's trying to, is doing their thing with their helping, but it's like it's still too much because like you're not earning enough money.
Yeah.
It's just the bottom line is that because these men still need to get paid. So I understand why it might be £1,000 because the teacher costs a certain amount of money. But you need more money to even do that.
Yeah. And there's a minimum requirement of adults per child.
Right? And that's why the man and the woman ain't meant to be working.
Exactly.
And the woman needs to be at home.
And Esau designed this place where, for instance, if you grew up in London, the chance, and your family's in London, the chances of you being able to raise your family in the same place as your grandparents is next to none. So then you're forced out of the city, right? So then now your childcare is 3 hours away. So then it's a thing of you now have no one to help you look and raise after you. So then now you and your wife are stressed because you both have to work. You're financially stressed. You both have to work as well. So it's a thing of like you're both, and then you got to look after this kid when you get home. And then that's how they start building a resentment for each other and for the children.
Start building resentment to life, bro. You know what I mean? You're just fed up. Life is not meant to be just fed upness all the damn time, man. But that's how you feel when you after a long day. You just feel fed up, and every day you feel fed up. You know, and bloated. You know, this ain't life is supposed to be.
But why is that? Because your wife ain't there to cook up good, healthy, wholesome meals. So you're having a fucking Weetabix in a bottle.
But on top of that, you can't afford good healthy food because that's more expensive than shit food. Everything's just backwards in this place, man. It's there to break you down.
Hey, I remember growing up in Swiss, like, so you remember them Somalis? Man? They would have chicken and chips every day.
Still Margo.
But bro,
I just came to mind, didn't it? I was like, how would he survive this? Yeah, that was pretty much the point.
this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and a government of prudent man as well. Ordered.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
This place ain't well ordered.
It's not well ordered.
Because nothing fucking works. Nothing works. Right? And that's why what we were saying about, the manifestation of the righteous, man. Like, we need righteous rulership. We need Yahweh Shah to come and take control of this place. To establish his order, to establish his kingdom. Right? Because then everything can be mended. Things can be done the right way. Because right now, everybody's fed up how things work because they don't work.
Everyone's suffering.
Yeah. Everyone's obviously living it up as the elites.
Which I remember. The thing is, I remember when what you said one time when you came back, and you was like, "Yo, you may go to a certain place, and then you are good. Obviously, when you bring in the Great British Pound, or you got the great, the Great US Dollar, the US dollar, right? When you go to these certain places, yeah, you may be living good, but it's like as a Jake, and you come outside your yard and you see an abject poverty, it don't feel right.
You know what? Yeah, the brothers mentioned about when I came back to Ghana. Like, because that's why when you get all these Jakes from Babylon or wherever go Ghana, oh, Ghana's great. They saw the kingdom of heaven. Oh, that's bullshit, bro. Because you go there and you're good, but your people there are fucked. Like, they're catching hell. Like, literally,
It's like the Moses and the Israelite situation. You're watching like these men are working like dogs, man.
Yeah.
And they're suffering and they enjoy shit. But
Yeah.
I'm living up here. I'm living up. And he felt bad.
Yeah. So definitely from a selfish point, I'm great. I'm the little we make here, we take that there. Living great.
None of us live lavish lives. We can earn the money and get by on it, man. But it's like we can't live the lives that we would like to live. It's not our rest anyway. So it's like we just get it through, man.
Yeah. You look at certain. I believe in like Zimbabwe, the monthly wage like $300.
Yeah, I was going to say the same about Ghana.
Yeah.
That's peak. That's not even minimum wage. Like that's good for the average person. If someone in Ghana can make £300 a month, like by conversion, they're doing great.
Yeah.
Like literally, there's people I know, their wage is £50 a month. That's flat.
So I can understand. Like you take our money over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like we are when we're there, we're actually like as millionaires to these people.
It's for real.
Because for what we may make in a month, what's minimum wage as a monthly wage?
Monthly here.
We're here. Minimum wage is about 2,000.
2,000.
So 2,000.
So you earn 40 times that person if you're a minimum wage in the UK. 2,000 is it 40 or 400? If they earn £50, that person earns £50 a month.
£50 a month.
£50 a month.
Oh, sorry, I'll go and buy 300.
Oh, it's like, yeah. And bro was like, yo.
Like,
40 times as much, man. So that, like, imagine you've got 40 times the spending power of someone when you're there. But what I'm trying to make is Esau, those are sadists. Well, we looked into a couple months back at the camp.
What's even worse than that, right? We live in the UK and America.
Yeah.
These elites got more than 40 times.
Exactly. That's
that's
because they always speak about Fat Cat Day, which is like
the same fucking country.
Yeah, Fat Cat Day is basically a day in the UK. It's usually around the first week of January, where basically the fat cats have earned more than basically what most people in the UK will have earned in the entire year, right? Which I believe I forget what the average is in the UK nowadays.
Well, over years, 35 and
35. Yeah, I think in London is like 42 or something. Something.
Yeah, in 7 days they've earned that already.
Yeah.
Expected.
This is as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
And when you look at how Esau and then his entire structure and how that operates, you can see it. That's why, for instance, there was a study that came, I think it was either Oxford or Cambridge. It was like, if you're a better liar, you succeed in this world, man. Right? When you look into business, and it's like the amount of grimy stuff you've got to do to really progress in business.
And it says, and what manner of the man that ruled the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of
So you're gonna roll over if they're all destroyed.
Yeah.
That's why. What do you call it? I always forget that monkey's name. Bro, he says, "Look, Dr. Zeus," or something like that. Planet of the Apes.
yeah.
You know, he was like, he'll make a desolation of his home and yours.
That's also why the hell doctrine's dumb. Because the kingdom of heaven is on earth, right? But if everyone's gone to hell, who's going to rule over? Right? That's why there's got to be survivors. Not people that get saved, but survivors.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, what I mean? It's got to be survivors, right? You know, what's that documentary called? Was it RK Survivor or some shit?
Yes.
You know,
Surviving out there.
yeah, yeah, surviving RK. Right? That person wasn't saved. They were victims.
Exactly.
You men are victims of the destruction of the Lord, right? Of the shackling, right? You're gonna survive and be ruled over.
Yeah, which some would argue that's even worse because you remember this well. Imagine, like, when you think about
I
these
used to
elites-
have.
yeah, you think about these elites.
We was presidents.
I find that hilarious. Oh, it was cracking. You know, it always is, so you just crack it up.
Companies, man.
Yeah. But it was like, when you read Amos, it says that we go wherever they're hiding, we go Amos the 9th chapter, wherever they're hiding, we go and get them. And we go and find them. So then imagine you're someone like a David Rothschild, right? Never had a hard day working on life, right? So then you think about different brothers have different spirits, isn't it? But a brother just comes out. You know, you basically have, you know, imagine one of the brothers just going into your hideout and just picking you up, man.
Yeah.
He was just laughing.
Drag him out.
Just laughing. Get over here.
Yeah. Just mock you, man.
Yeah, bro. And there's, if you've ever been on the receiving end, I've been on the receiving end of being mocked, man. It burns, bro. Bro.
And I would have got away with it too with one of you pressing kids. You know, but it's the thing, your plans are always doomed to fail. You was never gonna get away with nothing.
I do.
Your lot and your end was always gonna be this, man. Like you're gonna be humiliated. Real badly humiliated, man. You know, because we've suffered enough under your hands, man. The humiliation.
Oh, yeah.
So be sure that you won't get it in spades.
There's the things that Esau has basically pushed about Jake in the wall.
He ain't gonna be humble in that. He ain't gonna be humble that day, bro.
Oh, so they shall boast themselves?
Yes, that's right. That's
You
right.
know?
That's right.
Says, an unwise king that destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in the city, which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over one that is profitable.
Yeah, that starts with our Lord Yahweh Shai. He's the ruler of the world. You know? Are we gonna be ruling with him? As the scriptures say, man. We're gonna make us kings and priests. We're gonna put crowns upon our heads. We're gonna be, the judiciary, set up in higher places to manage the earth. You know? That's what we're here for. That's our purpose. Right? It's not the Edomite's purpose to rule the earth and guide it. He is not the light of the world.
Oh,
Right? He's nothing but darkness.
yeah. And that's one of the beautiful things about these last days is that it's coming out now. People more and more are starting to talk about it. More and more are he's basically people are basically like, this man's a devil. But that covering cast is slowly being lifted off, man. Right? And it's because it's annoying, man. You be around these Edomites and you see that they think they're better than you. And your mind just like, look, but that's part of the curse. That's part of our punishment, man. To have a base man over us.
Yep.
You know what? Will you finish on that? You know, there was actually, unless you got something, yeah, I'll read because it kind of goes into something else. That's why I said no, but there's a bit more in 2nd Ezra 14. Just go into it.
This is the book of Isaiah 16 and 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles
Bro, it's
of
great.
thy feet.
It's great imagery, right there, showing you that these guys are gonna have people in slavery, bro. There's no getting around it. Those that oppressed us, oh, we can count all day on that. All these nations are involved in that, right? So don't think you nation gonna get away with it, because Lord is judging you by nation. Let's not get it twisted, right? If you're gonna go down as a nation, right? You're gonna be put underneath as a nation.
Of Israel, Scripture says, "Thou and thy king."
Yeah. And when in the Apocrypha it speaks about what was going on in Egypt, man, it tells you, man, the same as the king, the same as the servant, man. They always suffered the same things. You know, it doesn't matter if that guy was a servant, didn't have no slaves, and was nice and chic. It didn't matter. The Lord punished them all.
Because ultimately they were. But ultimately, the Lord said it.
Yeah, that's
it. I was trying to get deep. The Lord said it.
The Lord is making a point.
Yeah.
I don't think you can just do this, bro, and get away with it, man. You're getting sniped.
That's it.
You know, nothing's going to change in this time, man. All these nations that are against us, man, you're going to go down as a nation, and you're going to fulfill these scriptures, just like everything else gets fulfilled. You know, you're going to bow down, right? Yeah.
And they shall call thee.
You see these Baconite, like they always walk around. You know, anytime the scriptures come up, like they're just waiting to hear if possible. So you just see, I could just see them saying, "Oh, they said that our women and our children are gonna bow down." Yeah. Especially, man, if you're not a Jake.
That's it.
Jake, you know, they're probably Baconite Jakes as well.
This is it, man. Like, you can say all these things and think all these things, and then it's not going to matter, right? Because whether you want to or not, this doesn't matter.
Every
Right.
shot.
Yeah, and every knee shall bow. So you can do all that shit, mental gymnastics in your head. You know?
Like, are you saying we're gonna live on the giant now? Like, you know, they be saying, look,
Shut up.
you just start with staying active.
No IQ.
No IQ. Fucking,
You know, we need to start using their own terms against them.
they're low IQ.
The usual suspects, right? Because they are the usual suspects. They're low IQ, right?
The thing is, yeah, our people just not petty enough. The majority of our people just not petty enough, man. They love Esau too much. You know, so they won't do all the, they don't do all the shit Esau does. Right? They're just not petty enough. They love Esau too much. You know?
Yeah, but the scripture says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Huh?
Yeah.
They ain't no saving Esau, man. Regardless of what Hakara say.
Bro, have you seen this?
So, I nominate him, yeah, to do a trans identity thing, right? Become an Edomite. There's no issue with that. Just become an Edomite. Do it of your own volition. Just say, Lord, I repent. I was born in the wrong body. I want to be an Edomite. You do that, and you know,
Uncle Rock is real, bro. Reverse
Oh,
Putin migrant.
Have you seen his title? You see how class title?
Oh, I didn't know what I was looking at when I first saw it. What's this guy, man?
That nigga, it's like a bone.
Yeah.
Samuels.
Yeah. Ah,
What the fuck,
he the next TV pastor, bro.
Oh,
He's
man.
ready, isn't it?
bro?
You know,
That's
you're
funny.
you're on
Shit,
TV.
man, I
and
have to go to China and dance.
That's a new aspect for Israel, bro.
I can't lie, it look fresh.
Yeah, you're fresh. That's what I'm saying, but not typically Israelite.
Fucking,
Like we say, you know, we make fun of Nate and the Power Rangers, but it's like, but like he just freshed up, like he
fresh.
went total pastor.
Yeah.
He went to pastor mode, bro.
Oh, man.
You know, shit. You know, bro.
Goes on to say, and they shall call thee the seat of Yahweh, Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
So this is what they're gonna call us because we tell us, you know, we tell you that's who we are now, right? You don't want to accept it, but you're gonna bow down and be calling us the sons of God, right? You're gonna be saying that we're the seed of the Heavenly Father and the sons of Israel, right? Because you didn't want to recognize it before. You didn't want to accept it.
Mm.
But when you're in front of us on your knees in chains, what else is there?
Yeah.
What are you going to say? Oh, you're not the children? I beg to differ. Like, because everything's going to say the opposite to that. You see this mace? See this aura? You know, you're going to see all these things that, like, you can't ignore or, you know, or deny. Right? Because right now you're in power, you can deny that, but it's like you can do all that stuff, right? Because you control narratives, you think you've got the truth and all this bullshit, right? But when the roles are reversed and it's everything as we said it is, it's like there's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say, man. You know? You're gonna have to accept your position.
Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated,
Forsaken and hated. Right? Like I said, there's no acknowledgement of us whatsoever. We're despised. You know, we're hated among the nations because the curse is on, really. You know, not because we're doing any madness on the earth like on Esau's level. We mostly harm each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
And this is it. Esau knows that.
Yeah.
That's the most disingenuous thing about it.
we're violent, yeah, to
Bro,
each other.
Yeah, there are certain neighborhoods. Bro, there are certain, bro, what was it, like Stamford Hill? Bro, I ain't trying to go Stamford Hill. But Esau can move into Stamford Hill. And it will be the most, like, for instance, I went Walthamstow, like, maybe a couple months back, right? And, bro, I was seeing freaks in Walthamstow. And I'm like, wait there, back in the day, you couldn't walk in Walthamstow. Yet now you got Edomite freaks all walking up and down. Point being is like Esau knows Jake ain't gonna do shit to him. That's why they'll move into certain areas.
No, they can't do shit.
So like, you know, he that touches Cain.
They can't do shit.
Yeah. You know?
it goes on to say, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellence, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, Yahweh am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob.
Right? So the nations are gonna nourish us, man. With your work, your labor, your produce. Right? You're gonna honor us. Right? So we live exalted lives. You know, that's what the Most High wants. You know, we ain't gonna labor for ourselves. Right? So you wanna labor and bring us goods. First fruits, offering. You know, your tithe, your tribute. All right, because we're all kings and priests. That's how the priests would treat them. Right, the priest didn't work. You know what I mean? The priest didn't work. The priests brought things, you know, to sustain them. Right, so this is what I mean. We're gonna be, you know, suck the breast of kings because, you know, of breast you get nourishment. The babes get nourishment, right? So we're gonna receive all the good resources from your nations. But we're not gonna be like demons. Like Esau, he will take everything. You know, even though you can't, you know, you need to survive the winter. He will just take it all anyway. We ain't, you know, we ain't gonna be demons, man. Right? But you are gonna give your tenth.
Yeah.
You know, you are gonna pay the tribute. You know, Esau will take 90. And Rome did that. Rome did that. Because they were obviously going down, they needed more. And so they took more, even though you couldn't afford it. But we're never gonna be in a destitute situation if we're gonna be desperate like that. You know, the Lord's gonna be with us, man. So we ain't gonna require you to go into poverty for us. You ain't gonna be in poverty. You're just not gonna be on the level that we are. But you're not gonna be in poverty. You know, Esau goes around the world creating nations, creates third worlds.
Yeah.
You know?
Having people just an eternal slave.
Yeah. We ain't got a rule like that. We ain't gonna rule like that. There's no need for us to do that. You know, and that's why that's when you start to recognize, understand it ain't so bad. It ain't as bad as obviously you dreading it. I mean, it could be bad for the first round, so don't get twisted. But like after that, you gotta understand the reasoning behind all these things. The will of the Most High, you gotta understand all of that. You know, because it's gonna be the earth's gonna be a lot better for it. You know, you want to talk? Yeah.
Everyone's gotta understand what it means to be like in the righteous rule.
Yeah. And that's what we want. The righteous cry out for righteousness. You know, because this place ain't right. It ain't right. And you can't say it's benefiting anybody. It's like Yeah, you got people with the fucking selfish guys. They think they've had a good day. You know what I mean? Because they got a few dresses or shoes or whatever the fuck they've got. That's the highlight of their day. You know, their life is changed. No, it's not changed. They still in fucking debt, paying a fucking mortgage. They just about barely afford. Stress. You know.
I got one. This is Isaiah 2:2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Because this is what the world is lacking, and these heathens are lacking because it was never given to them previously, right?
Yeah.
The law, and we're going to be administrators of that law, because abiding by the law brings prosperity. Right? You might think, oh, it's archaic and it's restrictive, and that you think your life is going to be made worse by following it, but the opposite is true. Yeah, there's some things that you got to do that you might not be used to doing, but ultimately, it's beneficial. It's beneficial to you, you know, because it's going to save away things like famine.
Yeah.
It's going to save away things like disease. You know, you got family members dying of cancer for what? For why? Because of sin. You know, you believe in Esau is because of this and this and that. Yeah, he's the king of sin. So yeah, you get involved in everything he's doing. Of course, you're suffering, right? But following righteousness, following the law, keeps you away from evil. Because the Most High ain't got to then come around and give you punishment. You know, so we're going to be administrators of that law, and this is why the world is going to be overall better. You're still going to have some bad apples in the world, of course, right? But people are going to be overall better because they're going to be behaving differently. They're going to be behaving more righteous compared to this place where people just do wickedness and it's nothing to them.
Yeah.
They don't even think about it. It's not even on a moral compass. It doesn't even register what they're doing. They just think it's normal. But we're going to teach them the right ways.
And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke the many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
So we're not going to make no profit of making wars in the earth like Esau does, keeping the world in instability.
Yeah,
That's wicked,
just
huh?
in a constant state of panic.
Yeah, just because you're making money out of it.
Yeah.
Just so you can go steal someone else's resources. We ain't got to steal from nobody.
Yeah.
You're going to pay us tribute, man. That's going to be the end of it.
Yeah.
We're going to come in and steal nothing from you, take your land off you. It's just your land. You know, that we gave back to you. You know, because it's the Lord Most High pointing that down to you. It's not ours. We're going to be overall rulers over the earth. So yeah, you have to come and serve and do your thing, but that's your home. You know what I mean? And whatever you grow, that's yours. But you're going to give a tenth. You know, it's as simple as that. It's not going to make it complicated. You know, Esau got to do all this skullduggery.
Yeah.
You know, and then act like he's righteous. Bro,
Yeah.
we're just going to say what it is.
Yeah.
We have these rights.
Yeah.
we are the kings, gods of the earth, and this is what we expect. That's it.
Yeah, which even adds up to the point that was made by the brother, saying that it just proves that they always trying to act like they're superior and better than Jacob, but really, like all you do is sabotage.
Yeah, handicap people.
You know what I mean, if you're truly better than someone, then
You ain't got to rig nothing.
there's no
false flag this.
competition. There's no
All of
nothing.
that.
There's no false flag. There's no nothing that needs that. You're just bet. So that means no matter what state they're in, you're always going to be bet.
Like if you've got a beef, it'll be a genuine beef, bro. You know, because some man, ain't doing what it's supposed to be doing. The man are contravening the law. We ain't gonna make up some situation just to give us an excuse to go do something to you.
Yep.
That's bullshit, man. But Esau does that all day long for his own agendas. We ain't got no agendas other than running the earth properly. You know?
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, I'm finished with that.
You know, that's what I mean. So the earth is gonna be peaceful, man. Ain't gonna be no more wars. Dead. You know, ain't gonna be no more wars. So you ain't gonna worry about, nuclear fallout and all this fucking stupidness.
Yeah.
Because this nation's got nuclear weapons. There ain't gonna be no nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Lord said in the scripture, man, these are one-time use, man. They ain't gonna be made ever again. So once these nukes start flying in this World War III, man, that's gonna be the end of it, man. They ain't gonna be developed again. I know, Nathaniel was talking about Gog and Magog coming back or whatever. With what? They can't get no nukes, man. They ain't gonna be no nukes. These stupid ass fucking breakdowns, they can't happen. But the world's gonna be more peaceful. The world's gonna be moving a bit slower. Because all this rushing around just makes people stressed, man. I hate rushing around. I'd rather allow myself enough time to do things rather than rush. I hate rushing. I get agitated. I get agitated.
Things properly.
Yeah.
This here and there.
Yeah. So the world's going to be different, and all the changes is going to be beneficial for the earth and for the people. The land is going to get to rest. Right now, we're just rushing the earth, produce this. We'll spray it up, give it some steroids so it can produce more. Yeah, but you're killing the earth. So things are going to be just done in order, as things are supposed to be, how things were intended to do. You drive a car. Now we got different modes of transportation in the kingdom, but like you drive a car now, but we don't redline it. We don't just redline the car. So you got gears, isn't it? So you're not stressing the engine out, rushing it. It's the same with people. You don't just rush. You break down. You break down, man. Mentally, physically, right? So things are just going to be different, but ultimately more beneficial to people. And people having the law is going to make their life so much better. Because they ain't going to worry about the Lord's judgment so much, which is going to come through us, because we're going to be administrators of the law. So the world's going to be just in a more harmonious place, like I said, as opposed to this, where everything's just war and wickedness, right? There's death and destruction all the damn time, man. But people they don't realize that yet, because they look at these and they think, oh, this is terrible. The laws is terrible. Oh, we have to stone their children to death if they're being wicked. If they're being wicked, make sure your child's not wicked, isn't it? There's so much bad you on the road, man. These you should have got stoned to death a long time ago.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We'd be better off for it. Our streets would be safer.
Yeah, definitely.
But like I say, because we don't employ those things because these looked at as brutal and archaic or whatever. Well, in the kingdom, obviously you try to minimize all these types of things. These are not ideal outcomes.
Yeah,
It never has been.
Yeah.
The same with the rape doctrine. It's not an ideal outcome. That's not what you wanted to happen. But if it did happen inside, you'd have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so obviously amongst the Israelites, we ain't gonna worry about all that type of stuff, because none of our children are gonna be wicked, and none of our children really need to be grabbed up at night. We ain't gonna worry about that. But obviously amongst the heathen, them things are gonna happen.
Things happen, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to be correct judges, and judge righteously in those moments in time.
Yeah,
The
Satan shall judge the earth.
But like I said, as a whole, these things won't be going on as much as they do today, because these people are going to have the law around them.
Yeah.
They're going to be more aware of the law, and the awareness of what is expected of them, and the judgment, the fact that we're here to bring judgment upon that, because there ain't going to be no, oh, I could get away with this. No, there's no getting away with nothing, because we're going to know.
As soon as that
I
thought
know.
comes into your head,
We're going to know about it, man. Right? And we're just going to come down swift to judgment. Ain't going to be no long that thing. A man's going to get away with murder for like 20 years. Serial murderers get away. No, it ain't happening. This man's going down that night, that hour. Soon as we get hear about it or whatever, we're coming for the dude, man. And we're going to remove evil from the earth. That's it. Yep.
So Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were hungry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give the word unto thy servant the prophet, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Yeah. So we're going to remove all things that's bad about the earth, man. A reset.
exhibit.
And there's so many levels to that of how Esau has destroyed the earth, right? But it's all going to be reset. That's why, like I said, new heaven and new earth is gonna take place, right? Everything's gonna be refreshed.
As a precept, this is First, I've got one. Okay, this is First Corinthians 6:2. It says, Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Right? So yeah, like not everybody can be a judge. That position is only given to certain men. These heathens don't have a place in judgment. Right? They belong to the Israelites, belongs with the elect ultimately. Because they're going to be the high judges. You're going to have the Yahweh Shai, you're going to have the 12, King David and the rest of the 11, and whoever's underneath them like that. But these heathens don't have a place in judgment because they're not imbued with the law. That's why the new covenant is being made with the house of Jacob, the house of Israel, and the house of Jacob, house of Judah. Right? Because that's who the Lord has chosen to rule the earth. Right? Only the perfect can rule the earth. And the Israelites are the only ones being made perfect through this new covenant, through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice. It's not meant for the world to be on that level. Otherwise, what was the point of the Lord picking a people in the first place? If he wasn't going to do that, you know what I mean? There'd be no point. He would just come to anybody, and gave them his laws. The good people in this nation, the good people in that nation, he gave it to them individually. He didn't do that.
Yeah, right. The Lord has got a people. And it's always going to be that. So there's nothing that you can do against it. No? Yeah. I have another piece. Leviticus 19. And is it? What is it? Exodus 19?
This is a good one.
19.
You got something? Yeah, bring.
This is the book of Revelation 5 and 10.
Yeah, okay. No, go on.
And has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Yeah, and that's that key point. Reign on the earth. This is not about going to heaven for us, because that's not the goal. That's our birthplace, if you want to call it that. But the whole point of the kingdom of heaven is supposed to be here on earth, because the heavens are already in order. Order needs to be established here. And this is why Yahushua is coming back. Or he would just stay where he's at. We would just go to him. You know what I mean? The Lord's coming back here to establish his kingdom. Right?
The place of judgment.
That's it, the place of judgment.
Precept.
Because that was what was promised unto the children of Israel.
Yeah.
To have a kingdom, to rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The goal was never set to be like, oh, just be good and die. And you're gonna have a throne in the heaven or something like that. It's not, that was never said.
So what's the point of life, man? Yeah, we're just here.
We don't want to be up here, but I'm happy to be down here.
Like eventually, the judgment's gonna be, die. Will on earth be done as in heaven?
That's it.
The order is gonna be established on the earth.
That's it. We need the children to do that. We're set up to do that for him.
Yep, this is I got one. Exodus 19:5. Now therefore, if you obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
As his word is only for us. People, you might think that's unfair, but to be honest, we don't give a fuck. It's beyond, like, we're just tired of complaining and whinging about the fact that, it's just because it doesn't matter. Your opinions don't matter on the situation. Most I say what he said, deal with it.
That's it.
It is real. Yeah, just deal with it. You can believe us or not believe us, man. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, what's going to happen is everything we're speaking.
On that, the scripture says this. It says Romans 3:3. It says, "For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?"
Yeah, your unbelief doesn't affect us. Your incredulity doesn't affect us. Because that's what it's written. It's written throughout time. People have been like this, so it's nothing new. Just because people don't believe doesn't mean shit. Well, you're wrong. Okay. But is your world falling apart? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's not changing nothing for us. Your world is obviously going down the shitter, right? And we'd love to see it so, you know? And it's just going to get worse. And as more time goes by, more prophecy manifests, you know, it doesn't stop manifesting. It's a living book. Right? It doesn't just stop. Right?
Yeah, people are sorry, but that was back in Bible times.
Yeah, it's still going on. And you're part of it. Your unbelief is part of it. Your kingdom falling apart is part of it.
Us enjoying that your kingdom is falling
Yeah.
apart is part of it.
You know? Yeah, we ain't got to the saucy part where we're all like being elevated and transformed and these types of things. Yeah, because you know, so we're just men right now. So you know, you can say we're chatting shit, but you know, we're not there just yet. But everything else is happening. You know, the kingdom's almost at war. There's digital technology, you know, surveillance state, RFID technology. That's all growing. So what we're saying is wrong.
Exactly.
You know. What's that?
This is the book of Psalm 12:6. The words of Yahweh are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times.
Because I was going through the other day, it's like, what prophecy hasn't come to pass? That was like, as you know, that was written of a past time. But obviously, it's still obviously waiting to come to pass. But everything that was said prior, they've come to pass already. The empires of this world have been and gone. We're in the last leg of Esau's kingdom. At the feet, at the toes, 10 toes, right? Of iron and miry clay, partly divided, partly strong, partly broken. Is that not the world we're living in? You know what I'm saying? So what part of this is not true? What part of this is not happening? Is it all in our minds? Did we make it up? You know? Or we just bugged out?
It's all happening.
It's all happening.
It's all happening.
You know, it'd be different if, like, I don't know, it went from one state where, you know, things were shit, but like, yeah, Esau's back on having a good run again. Like, for the next 100 years, man, we're just bare jubilant. Everyone's jubilant.
It's done.
Bro, there's none of that happening, bro. It's not happening.
Like,
Everyone's better off than they've ever been. Like, if actually Trump spoke the truth, everyone was more better off than they've ever been. They'll be like, oh shit, what's going on?
Well, there'll be
But it's not. It's not like that at all.
well, there'll be no racism.
Yeah, no racism. Everyone's rich. You know what I mean? If that was happening, I'd be like, what's going on?
Exactly.
You know? But that's not happening, bro.
Quite the
Everything's
opposite.
going down.
Yeah.
from time the average everyday Edomite wants to pull out like
Yeah. Last other Edomites.
blast other Edomites in the face.
You got allies, you know, European allies, not, you know, hating America. It's like, what's going on?
It's done.
Almost
going
as if it was written about.
Yeah, right.
In the book.
So we feel very secure in what's going on.
Well, yeah.
Very secure. We believe these words the Most High are spoken, man.
And this is a beautiful thing because it's like now we're in a time which, friends, you think about the apostles, man, how they were, you know, they were believing in this thing when in the grand scheme of things, nothing was really happening like that.
Not
Even
to the level it is now.
not to the level, yeah. Even in terms, you think about the influx of people, right? That was, you know, in 2007, right? That was a big influx of people.
Well, they suffered a big
Great
exodus.
Awakens,
Yeah, that's it.
You know, the awakening happened with them, but a big exodus happened too.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you could have felt like downbeat on that.
Exactly.
Because these man for that because they that fake 2000 came and nothing happened.
Exactly.
You know, and the great exodus happened, and you know the elders and apostles they could have been like shit, but they didn't. They carried on.
Okay.
They carried on, and look where we are now.
Exactly. You know, with all of the things that that's happening now. Like, for instance, before you could have gone up to them, man, and been like, "Yeah, man, which America's allies are gonna get fed up with her, and then they're gonna fight against America." People would have looked at you like you had 10 eggs.
You know, it was a special relationship.
Yeah.
All that shit.
But now, people are like, "Oh, wow."
The only real ally of America right now is Israel. And really, it's vice versa. It's not really. It's real
Yeah.
ally of Israel is America as opposed to the other way around.
Two
That's
pieces of
it.
pod, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 premium devils on the
Yeah.
planet. You know, so yeah, that's how they're gonna end. You know, but like I said, prophecy is not going backwards. Like the scripture speaks about an arrow shot of a strong archer returneth not backwards. So shall my words be. You know, they shall return back. All the plagues, all the pestilences, the famines, they all happening.
Yeah.
They're all happening and going to continue to happen until this place is finished.
Yeah. But as a comfort to that, for us though, is the Lord said, "Look, man, I'm happy. I got you.
Yeah.
you know, and that's a comfort because it's like even when I was in, I believe, as it says, basically these things are for the wicked, the destruction to come for the wicked, right? So yeah, it's like it's good, which I've got precept.
And the Lord will protect the faithful.
Yeah.
Those without faith won't be protected. You know?
Mhm.
So we believe everything that's going on is according to the prophecy,
Yeah.
according to the word's God, the Lord's word. Yeah.
And to be faithful, your faith has to be tested. As in, you have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Because then, what is there to be faithful about?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's like Paul said, you know, I can say I got faith. How can I, you know, if I don't have my works, how can I prove that I have
Yeah.
faith? You know, so we're all being tested. That's all part of our works. You know, that's the main part of it. How far can the Lord, you know, push us? You know, to prove our devotion, our faith in Him, in His Word.
sorry.
You know, so we're gonna go through shit, and time's coming. We're gonna go through the hardest time. You know. Yep.
There's a second Ezra 7:6. There's also another thing. The city is builded and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left of deep water.
So we know there's trouble all around us, man. You know, the path we walk is a very narrow, straight way, right? And everything else could lead to destruction. You know, it's very perilous, the journey that we're on.
Yep. It says one and only one path between them both. So it's like as if they were far on the right hand and on the left of deep water.
Because it's almost like we've got death in this world to survive.
Yeah. What was it? He that shall seek to save his
Yeah.
life shall lose it.
Yeah, because we got to refuse all these the fleshy.
as well.
Yeah, we got to refuse all the fleshy, you know, signals to try and preserve yourself, man. You know, during the famines and the violence and that kind of stuff, you're gonna have to kind of refuse all of that and suffer it.
Yeah.
You know, and just trust the Lord gonna protect you in that time. So it's almost like picking death because some people are gonna think you're fucking crazy. Oh, you're not gonna take the chip? Don't you want to eat?
Yeah. Once again, I think about every now and then just that the story in during with Antiochus with the whole eating of the swine, right? Like you bring that story to someone today, they'll be like, bro, why don't they just eat the pork?
Just pretend.
Yeah, just pretend or whatever. You know, why don't I just eat the pork? Because that's
Because
how
it was a precedent it would set
exactly.
for others because they would actually eat it.
Yeah.
But they thought you ate it.
Exactly.
You know, we should condemn a whole other bunch of men. But that's the same thing these demons, these other camps are doing. Nate's leading a whole bunch of people to death, as it stands, with his doctrine. Same with other groups.
This is the thing, like one's mind has to be prepared for what's about to come.
Yeah, to the best you can.
The best you can. So for a lot of people, let's say he did one day just switch it up now, right? You know, all the signs that the chip's gonna be released soon. So actually, no, it is a mark of the beast. But that means there's a whole load of people who haven't been mentally prepared
They are
for
the
that
result.
eventuality. Man. One of the things that we in our minds, let's be real, it's like in our minds, we're like, look, man, yeah, it's gonna get peaked. Right?
But from the rhetoric from these other camps, these guys are already ready to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
As soon as that trouble comes on them, man, that hour of temptation, they're ready to throw in the towel. Because they've been told that's not it. That's not the real threat. You know, General Hunter, he's talking about taking 2 chips because he got to eat. He's already throwing in the towel, bro. Bro, you could survive a whole fucking decade of what you got on you already. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna worry about taking no chip, bro. Just get lean do that time, innit?
Yeah, but then that's it. It goes to show you, therefore, that these people don't believe the stories.
No.
Right? Because Elijah was Elijah. I'll say it was Elijah, not Elisha, right? Elijah that was fed by the ravens.
Yeah,
you know, Elijah, he got fed by the ravens. We believe that, right? The whole story with him, I would. Yeah.
Manna from heaven.
Yeah. That basically saying these individuals, they don't believe that those things happen.
Bro, there's Israelites that couldn't even believe it when it happened. They man had water out of stones.
Yeah.
A man still didn't give no respect. Man was giving manna and quails and all different types of things they were given, man. Man's still disrespecting the outside stuff. You know? It's like these are just hard-headed Negroes amongst our flock, amongst our people, man. That the Lord's gonna remove again, because he did in the wilderness.
Yep.
You know, that's what the Lord's gonna do to them.
It just reminds us of the scripture that speaks about a little sanctuary.
But it just goes to show they can't be proven nothing. They can't be told right things. They will not listen. That's why you're of your father the devil. You're of that cloth. Because you're just rebellious, man. And nothing could be done for you. Right? So we're not gonna worry about you like that, but at the same time we have a job to do. You know, because we don't know who's who. We don't know if there's any, who's elect among you or who is this. We can't just close the door on you. But at the same time, bro, there's a whole lot of niggas that's gonna die.
That's right.
You know.
Goes on to say, verse 8, 2 Ezra 7 and 8, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that they could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given,
It shows you every man has to book his own walk at the end of the day. I know we're in groups and camps and we've got brothers and that can help you up through tough times and stuff, but in that time, it's really just gonna be you and the Lord, man. You know, so you have to have your own resolve. That's why I seek your own salvation with fear and trembling. It's gonna come down to you and the Lord at the end of the day. Because if you get napped, if something happens, you get napped up, and it's gonna be you only. You know, and you're gonna have the resolve to endure it. You know?
Yep. He says, if the city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
So the Lord's proven our worth. Right? If we're not brave enough to go through it and to endure it, then we don't deserve it. Ultimately. Even though all Israel is going to be saved, all Israel is going to be in the kingdom, right? But we obviously know there's a difference in those that walk into the kingdom and those that don't, right? To get that higher praise and that higher glory, you're going to have to walk and go through the temptation and the tribulations, you know. But it's just not going to be easy, obviously. You know, it's a hard thing to do, you know, and a lot of people don't like hardness, you know, because we're accustomed in this world to softness in a sense.
Oh yeah, well, we've been in the West. We
That's what I mean.
soft, man.
You
Yo,
know?
we soft. You be seeing certain other man, and it's, for instance, in the Eastern Bloc, even where places where we're from. Well, you be seeing them man work, they graft, you know. Well, this man, this a softness here, man.
Especially these cats that they got a business money making machine around in
Yeah.
downtime. Like, I mean, they want comfort. So it's like they ain't gonna opt for discomfort.
There are certain places in the world where rolling blackouts is a thing.
Oh,
There's certain places in the world, the concept of like municipal water that comes to your house. Oh, trash collection.
Mhm.
There's certain places in the world you don't have you've got to collect your whole trash that you may have been storing. Walk to the place where you got to give it up. Right? That is just the normal, the reality rather, for a lot of people on the face of the planet Earth. Right? But in the West, it's like, yo, we be getting pissed. It's like, yo, bin man comes every 2 weeks now. You know, all of that sort of shit.
Like, we get annoyed when like there's a bin here, right?
Yeah.
But if there's not a bin there for it's like, where the fuck's the bin?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
there should be a bin here. Why am I gonna hold it in the pocket? You know, you're like, you get annoyed. You know?
Yeah, no, but yeah, it's point just in the West, we've lived in great comfort.
You know, and that's why you have to get your mind right, man. Because although brothers may not, like some brothers might experience things like that before, but some of the brothers haven't. You know, because we live in the West and where it doesn't work the same way as other places. But you have to be aware of them at least. You know,
That's one of the reasons why I'm like, yo, the West is people go and find out the hard way, man. I always remember it was just before TV or speaking to my cousins right back home, and then they have this idea England is all amazing, it's all great. I remember saying to them, I was like, look, you lot have your fields where you've got your corn and stuff, you've got your water tank, right? Because once again, there ain't no municipal water,
yeah. So
and then you got your solar arrays, right? So basically, they're gonna be able to. I mean, scriptures talk about it's gonna be a time of testing for the entire world, right? But in contrast to us, what field?
but this is the thing, like
Sneak into an allotment.
nothing is either going to be good or bad in that time necessarily because like
but these major cities are going to get it.
they're going to get it. But in places like that, it's going to be more of like you're self-sufficient. So that sounds good to us. It would sound good, right? But they also now target.
Exactly.
So these things can be worked double, both ways, kind of thing. So they see the fruit, but they're just not. Cannabis isn't going to hit real quick. But yeah, we can think about these situations. We make ourselves self-sufficient, but like I said, we've seen those movies already. Man's got power generating in the yard. Man's onto you, man. Oh, you've got a generator in the yard. Once they know that, you will become a target, bro. At that time,
100%, yeah.
you know what I mean. So don't tell nobody fuck all, bro. Don't tell them shit. If you want to do those little things, man, do it quiet, man. Don't let them see the box. Don't let them see shit, man. People like to talk.
this is the book of 2 Ezra 16 and 38 says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb,
Okay.
which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
So I think the pain's getting worse. You know what I'm saying? If things not getting better, things are already getting worse, and it's happening more and more often.
But we could say that's why the scriptures give the example of contraction.
That's right. Right? That's why the scriptures are beautiful.
Yeah.
The analogies are beautiful.
It's just going to intensify.
Because I'm sure brothers not, you know, you hear the story, but it's like they have experience that where a woman, you think your woman's pregnant, but she don't give birth to another 2 weeks, or something like that. But then you think about what the, you know, the different ways like things have happened in the world, like 9/11. You could say that was the first contraction, and then later on, but then now you're having something happen
More
pretty
stuff.
much every week,
Every day.
every day. I mean, how many countries have Trump tried to invade? He kidnapped Maduro,
What you want to notice, man.
right? Yeah, Cuba's on notice, Mexico's on notice, Colombia's on notice, and Greenland, that's next. Iran.
And if you don't like it, you could be next.
Exactly.
Like,
Well,
it's
you
like-
said, yo, if you don't let us take
Yeah,
Greenland, we gonna tariff you.
Yeah. So it's mad.
Gangsterism.
Man, turn around and say, fuck you all.
Yeah, bro, straight up gangsterism, man.
So I rate Trump for that, but
Yeah.
only because it's going to end in
Exactly.
misery, bro. You go.
Even so, shall not the praise be slack to come upon the earth, and the word shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side.
There's not a day goes by where something's not happening. You know what I mean? Before there'd be like a little gap here, you know, 10 years ago. You know, there might be gaps here and there. But now it's like every week now something's happening, bro. Another thing's happening. You know?
O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Right, man. So our mind's got to be in a different state of mind, man, to the average person out here. So, you know, these people, you know, they're all hoping things are going to go over, things will get better. You know, they want to hold on to what they got. We're looking to leave things behind. You know, we're looking to dip and to, you know, go out there in the wilderness, so to speak, and just move in the spirit. You know, because trouble's going to be everywhere. So we're not really going to be safe where we are. You know, so we should have to move in the spirit, you know, into quote unquote greener pastures, if you want to call it that. But just in the you know, in the spirit. You know, and just you know, pray the Lord has our back. So that's our mindset's got to be, man. We're not looking to hold on to nothing here. Once it gets to that time, it's like it's done here. It's done. It's finished. You're not trying to, you know what I mean? Trying to figure out some other way. No, this is the, you know. So yeah, that time's fast approaching us, man. You know, like I say, we don't know what Trump's gonna do next or how the world's gonna react and all these different things, you know. But it's growing. You know, the nation's growing.
We go and see what happens with the whole
This
Iran.
is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, go and see what's going to happen with the whole Iran thing. But some of the reports, once again, these are reports, but some of the reports are like, you had certain of them nations, so-called allied nations, being like, bro, you ain't using our airspace for this.
Yeah.
But obviously for them, they're like, yo, that makes us a target. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, for instance, I believe like Qatar said, nah, you ain't going to use our airspace to attack Iran, etc., etc., etc. But if that is true, that's basically going on to the point that these shall hate the whore, right? Yeah, that's talking about, you know, NATO and allies or whatever. But so all of the allies ultimately of America are going to come up against them, man. Right? Because it's true.
They that eat thy bread.
Yeah. That's what, like, imagine you're Qatar, you're just there trying to chill. This guy's like, look, man.
There's problems with me.
Yeah. It's like, because it's when Ron was born, I was like, look, we gonna attack you wherever you are. Just so you know, we are gonna attack you. So Qatar's like, look, man, we don't need smoke up here, man. You know, we trying to just be the holiday central.
We want to do some trade deals, man.
Exactly.
You know, this army shit.
And that's why ultimately a lot of these nations are gonna be pissed off because they're like, a lot of people just want to chill.
Yeah.
Especially them nations where they've got fucking mandatory military service. Like, they're like, look, I ain't trying to send my child out to die for no damn America, man.
Exactly. That's it. Exactly. Yeah, so the world's being turned upside down right now, man. And good, you know, good. You know, but I said this year's gonna be an interesting one.
It's already
Great started.
Yeah. So who knows? You know, what towards the end of this year, what it's gonna look like. You know, so Lord willing, man, hasten the day as we always do. So, you know, but unless you guys got any more scriptures, we'll close up. No. All right, in that case, then all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, for Hashem, Yahweh Shai, for Hashem, Dash. Again, double honor to the elders, to the apostles of the GMS, and shalom out there to the whole world, man. Take care, man. Shalom.